Account banned at the start. I turned around and drove the game company crazy. 1. Account blocked by mistake. September 15, 2024, 10 a.m., light rain. East Guangdong Province, D City. In a rental house of less than 10 square meters. Zhou Tianao sat in front of the computer, playing a racing game produced by White Goose, called Goose Racing. At this moment, he is controlling a racing car and is far ahead of other players. As long as he does not make any mistakes and runs steadily to the finish line, he will win first place. Without interference from other opponents, it was no difficulty for Zhou Tianao, the king of the road, to run the rest of the distance without making any mistakes. After this race, I'll be the top driver. I'll take a screenshot and post it in the group chat to brag. Those bastards are so jealous. God of Cars is the highest rank in this game, symbolizing the most awesome player. There are very few people who can reach this rank, let alone be the number one God of Cars. Zhou Tianao was thinking happily when he suddenly found that his car seemed to have run out of gas. It could not move and the direction was out of control. He could only watch the car crash into the wall. What the hell? What's going on? Is the internet down? Zhou Tianao tapped the keyboard anxiously, but the car on the screen still did not respond. He could only watch helplessly as the opponent behind him caught up and surpassed him. I'm really impressed. What the hell is going on? My internet connection is fine. What the hell is going on? What kind of crappy game is this? Disconnect me right now. After trying everything without success, he had no choice but to close the game and restart it. But when the game interface reappeared, the screen suddenly went black and a pop-up window popped up. Due to suspected illegal operations, your account has been banned at 10:05 a.m. on September 15, 2024. The unbanned date is 10:05 a.m. on September 15, 2034. Zhou Tianao. The scene in front of him made Zhou Tianao unable to believe his eyes. 10 years. His account was suddenly blocked for 10 years. It was because of illegal operation, or it was blocked without him knowing where he violated the rules. What the hell is this? Faced with this situation, Zhou Tianao immediately contacted the customer service of eGo. Hello, customer service number 007 is here to serve you. What's the problem? What did I do? Why was my account blocked? They said it was a violation. Tell me clearly, what exactly did I violate? Why did you block my account? Please wait a moment. I'll check for you. Hello, the system has detected that you have violated the rules and has banned your account. Please maintain healthy gaming habits in the future. Do you have any further questions? Quote question mark question mark question mark quote. You don't understand me, do you? Tell me, as the season's top driver, my skills are so obvious. Do I need to break the rules? You're insulting me, don't you? Hello, please don't get excited. The system here has indeed detected that your account has violated the rules and therefore banned it. Please wait patiently for the system to unblock it. Do you have any questions? If not, please rate this service. Deduct 1 for satisfaction, 2 for moderate satisfaction, and 3 for dissatisfaction. I'm gonna finger you till you're numb. Zhou Tianao angrily closed the customer service conversation and realized that the person he was talking to was just a robot, not a real human customer service. Unwilling to let it go like this, he sent the screenshot to the racing group. Hurry, hurry, what are we going to do after being blocked for 10 years for no apparent reason? When the active members of the group saw that the God of Cars had been banned for 10 years, they all started to speak out. Holy crap! God of Cars, are you cheating? How could I possibly be cheating? Don't you know my skills? I can beat you with just one hand. That's right. Then why was it blocked? If I knew, would I still send it out? 666. FK. Driving God, why don't you ask customer service right away? I looked for it, but it's no use. They're all robot customer service. After the call, Zhou Tianao sent out screenshots of the chat with the robot customer service. Hi, God of Cars, are you sure you won't confiscate a bunch of gas? This customer service is so disgusting, they're just perfunctory. Everyone knows your skills. Even if they use cheats, they may not be able to beat you, unless they are a perverted version. It's a robot, so it'll answer based on the system's judgment. It's pointless to ask. Does anyone know what to do? I was supposed to be the first car god today, and I was supposed to post a screenshot of my car god to brag about it, but my account is gone. If nothing unexpected happens, there shouldn't be any accidents. After all, the final right of interpretation lies with the game company. They have the final say on what to do with the account. In case you don't know, I'm telling you that according to the agreement, the account is not actually yours. They just lent it to you to play. Is there really no other way? Can we sue them? Nonshan Pizza Hut, let's check it out. Why don't you pay me to wash your feet instead of hiring a lawyer? Wash your feet, okay. Seriously. It must be serious. I won't go seriously. Get lost, I'll figure it out myself. I advise you to stop struggling. I think it would be easier to create a new account. How can a self-employed person compete with a large company? That makes sense. +1. If you don't want to practice your trumpet, you can play mine. I'll let you become a car god for free. Your abacus beads are falling on my face. Get out, get out, get out. Zhou Tianao closed the group chat with a grim expression. The racing group is composed of some veteran players. Once they say this, their accounts are most likely completely useless. Zhou Tianao felt sad and disappointed when he thought about being banned for 10 years. What makes me sad is that the account I have played for so long is gone just like that. What is disappointing is the customer service attitude and the unreasonable testing system. I clearly didn't do anything, but my account was blocked. As for the trumpet, it was impossible for him to practice it, at least not now. He had no mood at all. He just wants to curse now. The more you endure, the angrier you will be. The more you take a step back, the more you will lose. Zhou Tianao decided to make a video of this incident and post it online, letting netizens speak up for him. We can't just let it go like this. He has evidence to prove that he did not violate any regulations. He is not just the racing god of this season. He is even the record holder for multiple tracks, and the screenshots and videos are all on his computer. He can prove that he didn't do it, and there is no need to violate any regulations. They did it right away, and half an hour later, a simple video with white text on a black background was created. Title: Don't click here. The 10-year-old car god was banned for no reason. The content starts from the beginning of playing Goose Speed Racing until now, from not knowing how to run on the track to becoming a record holder. It's a long and eloquent 10-minute article with a beginning and an end, and it has content and truth. After a quick look, I uploaded it to major video sites. Soon, the video passed the review. Since it takes time for videos to spread, it took about an hour for the video to have its first comment. I just want to click in. And the uploader must have opened it, right? Otherwise, why would it be blocked? With the birth of the first comment, the popularity of the video began to increase. I clicked in whenever I wanted. Who can stop me? But I think the uploader's skills are indeed good, but he should have opened it, right? Otherwise, why would he be blocked? I clearly didn't want to come in, but strangely I just couldn't control myself. Also, the penalty for a 10-year ban is usually very strict. They wouldn't just ban you randomly. You should have opened it, right? I think what the above person said is right. There's no difference between a 10-year ban and a permanent ban. Those who get banned are basically guaranteed to be caught. And how did I get in? Indeed. I used that kind of micro-acceleration cheat, and they only banned me for 7 days. You banned me for 10 years, right? I guess you're playing the game with cheats. And I just came in to see who among you got tricked in. Is that all you are? Ellipsis. Gradually, there were more and more comments, and the video became more and more popular, being seen by more and more people. Zhou Tianao looked at the comment section, which was full of people who didn't believe him, and suddenly had the urge to delete the video. But he knew that doing so would only confirm his guilt and turn the unfounded incident into irrefutable evidence of his guilt. At this time, a comment named, "EE Goose Speeding," appeared, attracting Joe Tianou's attention. 2. Bug System. Hello. The game's detection system is now very mature and complete, so it's impossible for it to be misjudged. Therefore, you must have been using cheats or making illegal operations that were detected by the system and resulted in your account being blocked. Please wait patiently for the system to unblock you. Joe Tianou did not respond immediately, but clicked on his avatar. There is a big V under the avatar, indicating that it is the certified official media of Goose Speed. As soon as the official statement came out, the comments became even more lively, and a bunch of onlookers began to mock Joe Tianou. I'm dying of laughter. This has been officially confirmed. This is the fastest slap in the face I've seen this year. No wonder people don't click in. Love really is something you can't let into the light of day. What about the car god? Even if you don't have the skills, you can still play it. For example, although I can't drive, I can buy new clothes for my wife every day. I can treat it as a dress-up game. But you insist on cheating and getting banned. You deserve it. Indeed, they were so desperate to save face that they suffered a lot. They even tried to post a video to cyberbully the officials, but ended up getting slapped in the face. I have a feeling this video will be deleted soon. I took a screenshot as a souvenir and put it on my homepage. If you're interested, come and see it. Originally, he was thinking of confronting the comment section head-on, but seeing more and more comments, all from people who didn't trust him, Joe Tianou suddenly felt like he couldn't wash himself clean even if he jumped into the Yellow River. He knew that no one would believe him, and no matter how much he said, it would be a waste of effort. The evidence in the video has made it clear enough, but public opinion still goes against him, which is extremely absurd and ridiculous. The facts seem so pale and powerless in front of these people. Joe Tianou suddenly realized that he was just a stepping stone for others' online carnival, and whether he had violated any regulations was actually not that important. He suddenly felt a little regretful about posting the video. Asking netizens to judge justice is simply the most ridiculous way of this century. I just don't understand, who did I offend? Why would the system detect me when I'm playing the game normally? What kind of crappy game is this? What kind of crappy company is this? What a rubbish detection system. It's so G disgusting. Why doesn't anyone believe me? I have the skills and the ability, so why would they accuse me of violating regulations and block my account? The more Joe Tianou cursed, the angrier he became. He just wanted to rush to the White Goose headquarters and smash their broken system to pieces to feel relieved. Suddenly, Joe Tianou's brain shook, and he became dazed and wavering. Shit, did I get so angry I had a brain hemorrhage? Am I going to die young? In a panic, an emotionless voice sounded in Joe Tianou's mind. Ding! The host has been detected to have suffered injustice, and the bug system has been activated. The system is binding. What the hell? What's going on? Joe Tianou slapped his head, thinking he was hallucinating. The voice sounded again in confusion. There are no perfect humans in this world, so the things created by humans cannot be perfect either. But the pursuit of perfection is an eternal pursuit of mankind and the main theme of the system. Games are the crystallization of human wisdom. Failure to take them seriously or to take action will lead to justice. The system deeply sympathizes with the host's situation. At the same time, the system has detected that the gaming industry is now a mixed bag of good and bad, and the situation of tanking is very serious. I ask the host to shoulder the mission of rectifying the gaming industry. The first battle begins with the Goose flying car. Ding! Activate the system for the first time, and you'll be rewarded with the Eye of Disorder. Eye of Disorder. A seemingly stable structure may fall apart and become disordered with just a simple operation. Through this eye, you can see simple operations that cause the system to behave abnormally. Note: it can only be used once a day, and the number of times is refreshed at 0 every day, and cannot be accumulated. Ding! The face slapping lottery function is activated. Note: 1. A slap in the face is not a physical slap, but it is achieved by creating a reversal that is unexpected and unprepared, making people feel like they have been slapped in the face. 2. When a person is slapped in the face, he will gain 1 slap point. He can slap the face repeatedly to gain more slap points, but he can only slap the face once a day. Zhou Tianao has an OK comprehension ability. Simply put, this eye of disorder is similar to a tool for debugging bugs. For example, in a racing game, everyone's goal is to reach the finish line through the track specified by the system. Whoever arrives first wins. This is the order. But as long as you pass through this eye, you can ignore the limitations of the track and go straight to the finish line. It can also be said that others take the main road but you can take a shortcut. This is disorder. As for the face-slapping lottery function, the system has explained it clearly. As long as someone is slapped in the face by him, he will gain slapping points. He just took a look at the lottery interface, a round prize plate, and the middle pointer showed 1,000 once. In other words, 1,000 people have to be slapped in the face by him before they can draw a prize. To be honest, 1,000 people is a bit too many. Zhou Tianao couldn't help but think about what method could allow him to quickly slap someone in the face and gain slap points. By the way, I can live stream. He slapped his thigh and suddenly came to his senses. Although he has never done a live broadcast, I have seen it. The number of viewers for a live broadcast by those top-tier anchors can even reach hundreds of millions. If he reaches this level one day, wouldn't he be able to earn tens of millions of face-slapping points with just 1 slap in the face? By then, you'll be so busy winning the lottery that you'll be tired of it. Zhou Tianao thought excitedly, but then paused, feeling something was wrong. The world suddenly became quiet. Zhou Tianao pondered hard, a puzzled look on his face. After he opened and closed the lucky draw page to repeatedly confirm its authenticity, he was stunned. FK. Isn't this a system? So everything just now wasn't an illusion. I almost thought I was going insane. I was scared to death. As a teenager addicted to the internet, Zhou Tianao read a lot of novels. The system is a must-have cheat for every protagonist, a powerful tool for showing off. He never thought that one day he would get it. He almost thought he was going crazy after what happened just now and started to have hallucinations. He didn't feel relieved until he repeatedly confirmed that he did have the system. Host, please take on the responsibility of rectifying the gaming world. Recalling the voice of the system, thinking of the mission that the system wanted him to bear, and then looking at the unfair treatment he suffered, Zhou Tianao felt like a Jedi counterattack, and his blood boiled. The current state of the gaming industry can be described as a stinking ditch, with sewage flowing everywhere, and it is extremely dirty and messy. There are really too many things that need to be rectified. He will definitely change all this. Ding. Mission released. Please urge the Goose Speed Racing staff to fix any bugs in the game. Success will reward you with a bottle of body transformation fluid. When Zhou Tianao heard the word, urge, he immediately felt the sense of mission to lead all living beings, and the confidence to confront the authorities also came with it. With the system as his backing, what is he afraid of? I immediately opened the comment section, started replying with my fingers flying. The first choice is the official one of Goose Speed. Excuse me, you said your detection system is flawless and perfect, and there's no possibility of misjudgment, right? Can you guarantee that? After a while, the official of Goose Speed replied. 3. Ghost. Goose Speed Racing. Yes, in this era of increasingly sophisticated artificial intelligence, backed by powerful supercomputers, it's impossible for an individual to defeat a computer. No matter what you do, it will be discovered. Therefore, your account will only be blocked if it's detected by the system. Please maintain a healthy and green gaming style in the future. Zhou Tianao looked at the screen with a smile on his face. He didn't expect the fish to be hooked so easily. He continued typing. What if I could find a bug in Goose Race right now? Shouldn't your detection system be perfect? It shouldn't be possible for a game to have bugs. In response to Zhou Tianao's question, Goosefly responded directly. Goose Speed. I can only say that you're dreaming. Not only is our detection system incredibly comprehensive, but the Goose Speed game itself was developed by a group of top programmers. There's no way there could be a bug. Even if there was, you wouldn't be able to find it. What if there is? Goose flying car. Really? I'll help you unblock your account even if it means I'll be fired. Keep your word, then come to my live broadcast room. There's a link on my homepage, just go in. Goose Speed. As soon as the conversation came out, the comment section was immediately in an uproar. Someone actually challenged the official staff to find a bug in the game. Isn't that too stupid? Holy crap, this is real. Aren't you afraid of getting slapped in the face? Who cares if it's true or not? Just go and see for yourself and you'll know. FK. This is so exciting. One person dares to challenge the official. This up is tough. Regardless of whether it is open or not, I will pay attention to it first. In a short time, Joe Tianao's account gained hundreds of followers, and before his live broadcast room even started, hundreds of people had gathered to watch the show. Ellipsis. Nowadays, it is extremely easy to live broadcast. With a mobile phone or a computer, as long as you download the software of the corresponding platform, you can start the live broadcast with one click. In order to prove himself, Joe Tianao restarted his computer to keep the system desktop clean, and then started the live broadcast. As soon as the live broadcast started, barrages of comments emerged like a tide. Joe Tianao's eyes lit up at the non-stop barrage of comments. These were all real-life lottery winners helping him. He knew that these people just wanted to laugh at him, and he had to repay them by slapping them in the face later. Since it was a live broadcast without showing his face, Joe Tianao's expression was not seen, and the barrage of comments was still discussing his confrontation with the official. The anchor is so brave and shameless, he actually dared to challenge the official. I'm ready to see the anchor get slapped in the face. Anchor, I think you can still save some face by admitting your mistake now, otherwise this will be really difficult to end. Why are you closing up? I cooked a big pot of rice. How am I supposed to eat it if you close up? Just based on the host's courage, I'm going to become their fan first. This way I'll have fun watching them in the future. A top-notch host like this is bound to have more than one trick up his sleeve. That makes sense. If it happens once, there will be a second time. People like this won't stop. I'm following them too. This anchor has lost all his dignity just for the sake of popularity. Open black lens bracket while Luoji Duo Xiao close black lens bracket has already followed the host. Open black lens bracket close black lens bracket already followed the anchor. I don't love beauty, I love the country has followed the anchor. Open black lens bracket Zhen Shongba Tian close black lens bracket has followed the anchor. Seeing the comments filled with disbelief and almost mocking attention, Joe Tianao couldn't stop laughing. Bang! He slapped himself, reminding himself not to be carried away by joy. If the slap in the face fails, you will be criticized. After forcing himself to calm down, he first opened Goose Speed and entered a small account password to log in. Familiar music sounded, but what appeared on the screen was an initial number, wearing a white shirt and black pants, with an initial racing car beside him. The initial account has been released, and I saw that the anchor account is really gone. It seems that he was really banned, and it seems that he was cheating. Oh, if I had known this would happen, why did I do it in the first place? That's a false proposition. If the anchor had known this earlier, would we still be able to see him get slapped in the face? Hurry up, anchor. I haven't seen someone so stubborn in a long time. In front of the screen, Joe Tianao muttered to himself. Eye of disorder. The next moment, his eyes became extremely deep, and strings of extremely complex characters slid across his eyes in lines. When Joe Tianao looked at the game screen of Goose Racing again, his vision was distorted. Between the interweaving of light and shadow, it seemed as if he had entered a strange space. The space is filled with a huge amount of codes composed of letters, numbers, and symbols. All the codes together make up the game Goose Racing. As this code space, Joe Tianao was shocked by the scene before him. In addition, there are hundreds of red light balls of varying sizes floating in the code space. As a user of the Eye of Disorder, Zhou Tianao knew that these red dots represented bugs in the program. The more red dots there are, the worse the program is, and vice versa. I wonder what level the Goose Speed Race, which has hundreds of bugs, is at. Since it was a live broadcast, Zhou Tianao did not open other game experiments on the computer, but looked at one of the red light balls. The moment his eyes were fixed on her, an additional set of information appeared in his mind. That's a few simple steps, put together. Hitting the outer wall of the 19th turn in the track map, Ghost Run, with a vehicle at 1 minute and 30 seconds will cause the map to become disordered and cause a collision-ignoring bug. Zhou Tianao immediately understood that as long as he followed the steps, he could create the bug corresponding to the red light ball. After obtaining the bug, the Eye of Disorder also entered a cooldown period and could not be used until tomorrow. The code space disappeared and the computer screen reappeared in the field of vision. With the help of the system, Zhou Tianao easily refuted the official statement. The next step is to slap the faces of these onlookers and reap their profits. After rehearsing several steps in his mind, Zhou Tianao couldn't help but become arrogant and spoke into the microphone. Have the Goose Speed officials arrived? Are they going to be scared? No way, no way. Such an arrogant tone naturally attracted the attention of the barrage. FK. How dare the anchor be so arrogant? Could it be that the streamer has cheats that even the official can't detect? Otherwise, there's no reason for him to be so arrogant. Streamer, please stop immediately. Otherwise, if you openly cheat, not only will your account be destroyed, but your live streaming room will also be blocked. Then the authorities showed up. Goose Speed. Wait and see. 666. This is the official style. They are ruthless and don't talk too much. Official slaps in the face are the most deadly. The officials are here. Requesting a car. You are such a stubborn kid. After confirming that the official had come in, Zhou Tianao manipulated the mouse and turned on the racing mode. Next, follow the steps to select the Ghost in the Sky map and click to start matching. Once matched, he will play a game on this new map with 5 other players. Ghostly Maze. I don't know who designed this crappy map. It's full of twists and turns, like a maze. I tried running through it for a while and almost couldn't get out. It's disgusting. Is the designer human? How could they design a map like this? This is the new 7-star map. It's definitely the most difficult map, but once you master it, it's a blast to play. You can really push yourself to the limit. But I can't experience that kind of fun. I always get scared the moment I see a map like this. Yeah, I saw a recent video of a master. He runs this map so smoothly, it's a real pleasure to watch. It's a visual feast. I've been single for 20 years and my hand speed isn't even half as fast as his. I always thought I was okay, but I'm miles behind him. So you're all just as bad as me. That makes me feel better. But at least we're not trapped in there with no way out. Indeed, your situation is in some ways as awesome as that great God's. There are more and more barrages in the live broadcast room, and its popularity is also increasing. Compared to the onlookers, some commentators smelled something different and tried to expose Zhou Tianao. 4. Turn 19. As the streamer trying to slap the official in the face by finding bugs in the new map. The new map seems to be more prone to bugs. The streamer is really good at finding loopholes. Is this considered true? Is this anchor so cunning? Goose Flying Car. Don't worry, Ghost Trail is a new map, but because it is the highest difficulty 7-star map, it will be used by many high-level players and professional players, so there is no room for error. For this reason, we have gone through countless tests before releasing it online. There are no bugs at all. It seems that this big anchor's calculations will be in vain. As soon as the official appeared, the barrage immediately began to mock with confidence. Officials say there are no bugs, so of course there are no bugs. Ha 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 ha, Anchor, your bank card password is known to the authorities. It's so funny, is the Anchor a primary school student? His thoughts are so simple and he was seen through. You were trying to exploit a loophole in the new map, but you didn't expect them to block it with reinforced concrete slabs. Ha 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 ha, I'm dying of laughter. As more and more sarcastic comments scrolled across the screen, Joe Tianao, with a look of pity for the officials and the audience, saw the game display, match successful. The screen changed, and he and 5 other players entered a stage interface. Before the game starts, the system will place 6 players on a stage and have them dance in unison but in different styles. When dancing, the system will also adjust according to the player's clothing value. Those with the highest clothing value will stand at the front, and those with the lowest clothing value will appear at the edge. However, there is an exception. When the dress value is 0, the player will not dance on the stage and can only nod and applaud from the back. Joe Tianao was using a default account at the moment, and had nothing, so his clothing value was naturally 0, so he could only applaud from the back. As a result, this picture was met with mockery and ridicule from the barrage of comments. I can't hold it in anymore. Why is the host clapping in the background? There's nothing we can do. The host could have danced anyway, but he cheated, and cheating is not presentable, so naturally he can only watch others dance from behind. How do you know the streamer is definitely cheating? If he's cheating, then he's cheating. If he can't dance on stage, then he's cheating. Putting aside the fact that the streamer is cheating, don't you all have any fault at all? Hey man, I see the knives are out in front, why don't you go and open one too? I'll bury you and the anchor together. It's too late. Give our allies a proper burial. Faced with the ridicule from the barrage, Joe Tianao could hardly hold it in any longer. He could definitely conclude that this group of people ran into the live broadcast room without even watching the video he posted, and joined others in mocking him. But the more this happens, the more he welcomes it, because only in this way can he slap someone in the face. He didn't rush to respond to the barrage, but it continued to persist. Anchor, give up. Honestly, I think you can still be saved. Host, are you sure you've played this map before? It would be a laughing stock if you get stuck in there and can't get out. That's all I say, but if you really get stuck and can't get out, don't quit the game out of anger. I'll record a video of you and post it online. This kind of funny video can even boost your popularity. Tisk tisk, how can the anchor tolerate this? He's not secretly cursing us with his mic muted, is he? Don't tell me, it's possible. Anchor, you have the ability to start the broadcast, why don't you have the ability to use the microphone? Why isn't the host talking? Did we get it right? No way, is the anchor so stingy? If you don't have this much tolerance, don't be a broadcaster. You guys are really good at adding drama to yourselves. Joe Tianao took a look at the popularity of the live broadcast room, which just reached about 10,000. The popularity value is inflated and not the real number of people. The ratio is about 10 to 1. Right now, there are about 1,000 people in the live broadcast room, just enough for one draw. I'm already thinking about the lottery before I even get slapped in the face. Joe Tianao smiled and shook his head, then put his hands on the keyboard, ready to start the game. At this time, the screen scene switched, and 6 players including Joe Tianao appeared together on a runway. Everyone sat in their own racing car, with a black and white checkered starting line in front of them. Because it was an initial account, compared to other people's various cars, he only had a cart given by the official, and the character sitting on it looked extremely shabby. As soon as the comparison came out, the barrage of comments was inevitably filled with sarcasm. I've seen this before, but that player was a bot. They're used by the system to make up the numbers when there aren't enough people to match. Streamer, are you here? Say something. Prove you're not a bot. No, is the anchor trying to pretend to be a humanoid machine, causing the system to misunderstand, and then exploit the bug when the system isn't paying attention? Is it possible that the anchor is actually a bot? That everyone here was tricked into coming here? This anchor said something at the beginning, but hasn't spoken since. Is he afraid of revealing his true identity by saying too much? Who is the little black guy? I am telling the truth. As the barrage of comments started to interact fiercely, the game also began and a countdown appeared on the screen. The moment the countdown ended, Joe Tianao pressed the forward button, and the exhaust gas of 6 racing cars instantly spewed out, driving the car bodies out. However, because Zhou Tianhao's kart is an initial vehicle given by the system, it does not have any bonuses and cannot be modified. This resulted in the other 5 people's cars having attributes that almost crushed his. So, as soon as he started running, he was ruthlessly left behind by the others. When others drifted through the first corner, he had just arrived at the first corner and was about to turn. Seeing that Zhou Tianhao was left behind at the beginning, the barrage started to make trouble again. Host, your bot setup isn't working properly. The system bot won't work, so how can you possibly fix the bot bug? Do you need me to teach you? Others who use bugs always come in first place, but you're last. I admire you for being able to use bugs like this. Does the last person need to use a bug? It's okay if I don't use a bug. Let's be honest. +1, the last one has hands. No, it's okay if you don't have hands. As time passed, Zhou Tianhao became a little nervous. It was the first time he encountered a bug, not to mention it happened in public. He believed that the bug seen by the Eye of Disorder definitely existed, but to complete it according to the steps would test his own ability. If it were in private, he could try whatever he wanted, but now more than 1,000 people were watching him. If he failed, he would definitely be blamed. There is only one chance, you must seize it. Fortunately, as someone who was almost the best driver this season, he had top-notch mentality and operation, and he quickly adjusted his mindset. Finally, the time came to 1 minute and 20 seconds. Zhou Tianhao had just rounded the 18th turn and was preparing to head to the next, and most critical, 19th turn. At this point, the other players who were in the lead could no longer even see their taillights. Damn it, I finally remembered the fear of being dominated by this curve. 5. Beyond the track. The road between the 18th and 19th turns is not smooth. It is a fault with upper and lower faults, and several irregular tracks are connected in the middle. Although this section of the road is not the most difficult, it is the easiest to make mistakes. The track has a protruding part on the left and a concave part on the right, which is extremely irregular. It is difficult for a car to drift completely in it. Special techniques must be used to adjust in time to pass through quickly, otherwise it will keep bumping into things. Damn, this place is awful. It only took me 3 minutes to finish this drawing, but it took me 30 seconds. I was so mad I almost smashed my computer. The designer is simply not a human being. He can design such an anti-human picture. It's disgusting. That's right, why don't you just let me fly down freely? You have to create some disgusting bumps and push me down from the sky. The designer may not be human, but he is definitely a real dog. This corner requires very difficult techniques. I watched a racing video of a master, and I don't know how many keys he pressed per second to pass it quickly. Anyway, I will never be able to reach that level in my lifetime. Yeah, that master is really awesome. He was the first to post the video, and this technique was his own creation. Now, many of the subsequent master racing videos here are also imitating his operation. It's simply unprecedented and unparalleled. Unfortunately, that great player's video covered up his game ID. He was probably afraid of being recognized and added as a friend. I guess so. With such an amazing operation, there must be a lot of people who want to learn it and are willing to pay to learn it. Indeed, I'd be happy to. Even though I may not be able to learn it. Really. Even if you understand the principles behind some operations, you absolutely can't perform them. That's the difference between ordinary people and masters. The clumsy party is very angry. +1. A row of bullet screens rolled by, and Zhou Tianhao also flew out from the terrain above. In front of him was an extremely irregular track. With the barrage of comments as a prelude, everyone understood how disgusting this track was. Seeing him flying out like a fool, the comments were all gloating, ready to see how he would be humiliated on this track. Can I be a live streamer? Do you want me to send you some great videos so you can learn from them? No, don't force the host. If he can learn it, I'll be the best car player. Some things can't be learned just by wanting to. For example, if I wanted to learn how to challenge the game's officials, even if the anchor was willing to teach me, I wouldn't be able to do it because it's instinctive and I'm afraid of death. That's true. You can probably learn the technique with more practice. This fearlessness requires natural talent. The only downside is that it can be quite severe, and your brain won't work very well. At this moment, Zhou Tianao drove his cart into the irregular track leading to turn 19. The time has come to 1 minute and 23 seconds. I remember that Great Guy only took 7 seconds to pass this track, while it took me 30 seconds. Is this the difference? Guess how many seconds it will take the anchor. Do I even need to guess? It took me 30 seconds. If it's less than that, I'll just uninstall the game. I feel like you overestimate him. I don't know if I can figure him out for a minute. 1 minute is too long. My grandma can get through it. Suddenly, everyone in the live broadcast room heard a burst of keyboard clacking sounds, which was the sound made when the hand speed was very fast. The next moment, everyone saw the cart on the screen, which deviated and moved in a strange way, bypassing one obstacle after another in a way that was beyond common sense. When the car rushed out of all obstacles, the time came to 1 minute and 29 seconds. At this moment, they saw that the car on the screen seemed to be out of control. It was clearly approaching the curve, but it did not drift or turn, but crashed straight into the outer wall. No one knows why the owner of this car did this after suddenly showing that amazing operation. This second is very long. Long enough for everyone's mentality to change. But it is also very short, 1 tick is 1 second. 1 minute and 30 seconds. Everyone watched as Zhou Tianao's cart crashed hard and straight into the wall. In this situation, they seemed to see through the live broadcast room and the computer how panicked the owner of the car was. At this moment, everyone's face was filled with regret. It was a feeling of seeing a genius being strangled in the cradle. It was like walking on a tightrope and reaching the last step, but falling down because of panic. It was both amazing and regrettable. If you can run through this corner perfectly, it will definitely surprise everyone. Even so, the barrage of comments that had never stopped suddenly quieted down, and everyone was in extreme shock. Some people could no longer restrain their eager fingers and were about to type out text comments when they suddenly discovered. The cart on the screen did not stop after hitting the wall, but went straight through the outer wall and got stuck outside the track. All the comments were shocked. What the hell is going on? What the hell? What the hell? Was this intentional or accidental? It must have been intentional and careless. Oh my god, it flew right out of the track. The comments were in uproar, and everyone was shocked by Zhou Tianao's operation of running off the track. Not only that, his car did not stop, but rushed to the finish line at an extremely fast speed. The map of Ghost Run itself is not very big. If there were no restrictions on the track, the distance between the starting point and the end point would actually be very close. Even if the other players are already far ahead at this moment, it is impossible for them to reach the finish line faster than him. Because the line segment between 2 points is the shortest. Zhou Tianao ignored the track and surpassed the other 5 players in just 10 seconds, reaching the finish line directly. It took 1 minute and 40 seconds. And the racing video of the great player that I saw in the barrage took a full 2 minutes. Zhou Tianao exploited this bug and broke the record almost effortlessly. The bug was successfully discovered, which not only slapped the official in the face, but also slapped the face of everyone in the live broadcast room. The official swore that there could be no bugs in this game or this map, but this is the result. At this moment, everyone felt like they were slapped in the face, and their faces were burning. Holy shit. Is this even possible? Is it really stuck like this? Damn, even though I got slapped in the face, I still feel so awesome. Why? Because he did something that others couldn't do. No, I just kept scolding him, and now I'm so embarrassed. My toes are getting thirsty, and the 3-bedroom apartment is waiting for me to dig them out. That's F************** G awesome. This is a slap in his face right in front of the authorities. He actually did it. How did he do it? Words are indescribable, holy shit. Inside the rental house. Ha. Slap value +1. Ha. Slap value +1. Ha. Slap value +1. Zhou Tianao heard bursts of slapping sounds in his mind. Although the sound of the slaps was a bit monotonous, the number of them increased. The sounds of slapping him in the face made him feel as if he was on a big stage with tens of thousands of people, listening to the audience applauding and cheering for him enthusiastically. This feeling of being slapped in the face cannot be described as very pleasant, it can only be described as extremely refreshing. He looked at the slap value. This time, I gained more than 500 face slapping points from this slapping. That's not right. How come there are only 500 out of more than 1,000 people? The gap was so huge that Zhou Tianao was a little confused. He didn't understand why he couldn't reap all the benefits of this slap in the face. He estimated that there would be 1,000. More than 500 face slapping points are not enough for one lottery draw. What went wrong? At this time, some barrages caught his attention. No, how can you think a streamer like this is awesome? 6. Slap in the face. Yeah, how can you think a streamer who wins the game by using bugs is so awesome? Are the comments in this livestream all brainless? A bug is still a bug, is there any technical skill involved? Can he even play professionally? This streamer not only has no skills, but also doesn't know how to create a good show. He barely said a word from beginning to end. I don't know what you're interested in with a streamer like this. Indeed. Now that you put it that way, this anchor really does seem like a clown seeking attention. He only relies on crooked methods to win. How boring. That makes sense. Who would watch this kind of rubbish? Seeing this, Zhou Tianao suddenly understood the reason. Not all viewers in the live broadcast room were attracted by his interaction with the official, many of them were passers-by. They were attracted by the high popularity of the live broadcast room. These people don't know why he is using a bug, which leads to inconsistencies and no causal relationship, so he cannot harvest their face-slapping points. Zhou Tianao ignored the ridicule in the barrage. What he cared about was what to do if his face-slapping value was not enough. How can we hold a lottery with so little money? Just when he was about to think of a solution, a different rhythm suddenly appeared in the barrage. Those of you who are calling this streamer trash, wait a minute. I wonder how many of you here have seen that Ghost Run racing video. If you have, think carefully. Doesn't the streamer's movements just before the bug hit you look awfully familiar? Holy shit. You're right, they do look a bit alike. Yeah, I didn't dare to speak just now for fear of being criticized. The host's operation just now was really awesome. I don't think anyone here can match him. I think you can remove the estimate and you will never find a second one. You're not doubting that the streamer is actually a great player, are you? What? Impossible. Can you pull off that maneuver? At this time, a barrage appeared and said something weakly. Didn't you all finish watching the video posted by the anchor? No, I always go directly to the comments section. Who watches the video first? Don't they all go into the comments first? Yes, entering the comments section feels like coming home. Everyone there is talented and speaks well. I always read the comments first when I watch a video. Awesome. I suggest you go back and watch the video first. This streamer might really be a great one. For a while, the barrage of comments decreased a lot, and many people were reminded and ran to watch the video released by Zhou Tianao at the beginning. 10 minutes later, the barrage appeared again. Holy crap. Is this true? Are those screenshots and videos yours, streamer? No way. Isn't the video edited? Host, how do you prove that all those things are yours? Yeah, why don't I believe it? How dare the authorities block your account? At this time, Zhou Tianao spoke up, his tone calm and with a hint of arrogance. I originally planned to get along with you as an ordinary person, but in return I was slandered and questioned. Now I won't pretend anymore. I am the strongest racing god and I will reveal my cards. After saying that, Zhou Tianao opened a website under everyone's gaze. This is another popular platform called Douyin, which is the most popular video platform in recent years. In fact, he didn't expect this video to become popular. He just ran it casually and posted it, and the title was just a witty one. After becoming famous, he didn't think too much about it. He was not very interested in these things. He pursued the ultimate operation. The time when the video was released was also the beginning of the new season. He was always striving to be the #1 driver and had no intention of paying attention to the video at all. He basically let it grow wildly. Unexpectedly, the unintentional action at that time has helped me a lot now. Joe Tianao clicked on it, entered an account number, and after successfully logging in, entered the backend for submitting videos. The backstage was empty, with only a video lying there. Take a closer look at the title, Seeking Torture. The first record of the entire network in the 7-star map, Ghost Shadow, a unique running method in 2 minutes. The video has millions of views and tens of thousands of comments. Looking at the number of followers, just based on this video, the account named Haoshan Emperor has nearly 200,000 followers. Although this is not much, it gives everyone a way to verify it. Joe Tianao's voice sounded at the right time. I know you don't believe it, but you can compare it yourself to see if these numbers are true. Seeing this, the barrage opened their own Douyin. Those who followed found their follower lists, and those who didn't follow clicked on the input bar to search for Haoshan Emperor. After finding it, I clicked on the personal homepage and began to subconsciously compare various numbers. Seeing that the barrage had quieted down a lot, Joe Tianao waited for a few seconds to give them time to open Douyin, and then began to guide them, pointing the mouse at the corresponding numbers. Views: 6.48 million. Not a lot, but it's the same as what you see on your phone, right? At this moment, all the comments felt like they were slapped in the face. The applause in Joe Tianao's mind was endless. Ha! Slap value +1. Ha! Slap value +1. Ha! Slap value +1. Ellipsis ellipsis. This immediately increased his slap value by over 100. His eyes lit up, and he continued to move the mouse over and said, Comments: 13,254. Not a lot, but every one of them is pretty good, right? Ha! Slap value +1. Ha! Slap value +1. Little hearts. 3.65 million. That should be just right, right? Ha! Slap value +1. Ha! Slap value +1. Number of followers: 198,904. Others might not have this many followers even if they have hundreds of videos. It should be easy to tell apart from just one video of mine, right? No one would mistake this, right? Ha! Slap value +1. Every time Joe Tianao lists a verification, a large number of people will be slapped in the face by Joe Tianao. After several verifications, he directly slapped more than 500 people in the face and gained more than 500 slap points. Adding the more than 500 yuan just now, it is enough for him to draw a prize. Joe Tianao's actions proved one thing to everyone. That is the anchor in the live broadcast room, the top master in the video who created an unprecedented running method, broke the highest record, and reached the pinnacle of operating skills. At this moment, everyone in the barrage was stunned. They never imagined that the anchor in front of them would be so awesome. In response, everyone entered an extremely common symbol that was very consistent with their emotions in the barrage box and started scrolling. Under the white Goose Speed Racing Studio. In front of the computer logged into the official media account of Goose Speed. A very delicate-looking girl sat there with her lips slightly open and her pupils dilated, as if she had lost her life. Her name is Xiao Ruian. She is a staff member of the Public Relations Department of Goose Speed Car and is in charge of the official media. Except when the propaganda department uses official media accounts to release new versions of content, she is in control of the rest of the time. In order to increase the stickiness of game users, in addition to necessary work, the company also requires her to interact with players frequently. Because of her lively personality, she has never felt any burden about this matter until today. Unable to control her little hand, she clicked on the video titled, "Don't click here." The 10-year driving god was banned for no reason. She could have completely ignored it. Although the word, God of Cars, was most likely related to Goose Racing, she could have pretended not to see it. Although this kind of thing did happen, it was definitely more than one, and she just happened to get into this kind of thing. 7. Dye white into black. Is this a dream? Why is there really a bug? Xiao Ruian looked at the question marks scrolling across the screen and fell into self-doubt. She never thought that this player actually discovered a bug. In an instant, Xiao Ruian felt her cheeks burning, as if she had been slapped. Such a big reversal even seemed outrageous to her at the end. She opened the input box and typed a question mark. Just as she was about to send it out, she saw that this player actually listed one piece of evidence after another to prove that he was a high-level player, and a top-level one at that. The more she read, the more outrageous it seemed, and she unconsciously added a few exclamation marks. So, among the barrage of question marks on the screen, an outlier appeared. Goose Speed. After sending it, she seemed to have lost all her strength and collapsed in her office chair, muttering, "What should I do? Am I really going to lose my job to unblock his account?" She hasn't forgotten her original promise. But Xiao Ruian knew very well that as an internal staff member, she was not qualified to change the judgment made by the detection system, which was the jurisdiction of the technical department. To do this, she would have to risk losing her job and go to the technical department to tamper with player data. For leading internet companies like White Goose, player data is an inviolable privacy. Even if their technical staff want to view it, they need the consent of senior management. If she dared to do that, losing her job would be the least of her worries. She might even be asked to have a chat with the relevant department. Oh, no, she would definitely be asked, and she might stay there for a long time. Thinking of this, Xiao Ruian began to back down, but she wanted to give up but was unwilling to go against her conscience. After all, she had promised it herself. What's wrong, Ruian? At this time, an ergonomic chair slid out from the workstation next to Xiao Ruian, and sitting on it was a man wearing a casual suit, with a slightly fat figure and an ordinary face but revealing an air of sophistication and slickness. His name is Qi Jun, and he is also from the Public Relations Department, but he is usually responsible for offline affairs. Brother Jun, what do you think I should do? When she saw Qi Jun, Xiao Ruian seemed to have grabbed a life-saving straw, and quickly told him the whole cause and effect of the matter. That's so simple. You're not stupid enough to actually help him unblock it, are you? Unless you know someone in the technical department, you could go to jail. Luckily you asked me. After hearing what happened, Qi Jun looked at Xiao Ruian, who looked terrified, and said with a smile, "Just do as I say, and I'll keep you safe. Besides, we're officials, so be confident. The final right of interpretation rests with us. Who are we afraid of when it comes to this kind of thing? Brother Jun, please teach me how to deal with this matter." Hearing that this problem could be solved, Xiao Ruian immediately began to ask for advice humbly. You're still too naive. You can't even think straight about such trivial matters. Qi Jun stood up from his chair and walked over, one hand resting on the table. He stared at the livestream on his computer and smiled. You know, bugging and cheating are both malicious behaviors that disrupt the game's balance. He's doing this openly in front of so many people. We can definitely file a petition to have his account banned, even if he's a master. Xiao Ruian was a little confused and said blankly, but isn't the bug a problem with the game itself? Isn't this our own problem? Can we ban his account for this? Are you stupid? How can you take everything on yourself? And what do you mean by saying the game has no bugs? If he had simply reported the bug for us, we might have sent him an email thanking him. But he's using the bug to disrupt the game balance and abuse other players. We have every reason to ban such a player. But I feel like this excuse is so far-fetched. Besides, his account was mistakenly blocked, so he used the bug to refute me. After hearing this, Qi Jun felt a little disappointed and said, You're new here, sure, but you haven't learned anything in the past few months. Can't you just make up an excuse to get away with something like this? What's the reason? When doing things, we must learn to consider the overall situation. We should use whatever reason is most appropriate and beneficial to us right now. Brother Jun, stop keeping me in suspense and tell me now. Xiao Ruian finished speaking with a bitter face, only to see a sly glint in Qi Jun's eyes. The corners of his mouth curled up slightly as he said, "Let me think about it. Didn't he say he was blocked by mistake? Then we can take advantage of his bug-fixing behavior. We can completely say that his account was blocked by a malicious bug, which is also a violation of the rules. Then, the logic will be connected, and he will not be able to refute it, and no one will be able to refute it. Still, is it still possible?" Xiao Ruian was shocked and speechless for a long time. Remember, this is the benefit of having the right to speak. Qi Jun glanced at Xiao Ruian and asked tentatively, "Do you know what to do next?" Xiao Ruian's brain was still in a state of shutdown, and she didn't think about what would happen next at all. Seeing this, Qi Jun very gentlemanly pulled over the ergonomic chair next to him and said helplessly, "Let me help you solve it. You look carefully and study hard." "Oh, okay, thank you, Jun Ji." Xiao Ruian quickly stood up and pulled out a chair. With a look of gratitude on her face, she watched Qi Jun slide to her computer, put his hands on the keyboard, and said confidently, "The first step is to throw dirty water and turn white into black." In the live broadcast room, a player character stood on the podium and waved to express gratitude, while the other 5 were all applauding and cheering below. But it's not real cheering, it's just a game setting. The loser will cheer for the winner. In Goose Racing, as long as one player reaches the finish line first, a 10-second countdown will appear. If the following players fail to reach the finish line within 10 seconds, they will be forced to end the game and it will be displayed as unfinished. Players who fail to finish, even if they are in the top 3 at the end, will not be able to stand on the podium and can only applaud from the audience. During this period, players can speak freely. When they saw the initial number 1 in white shirt and black pants standing in the first place and they were all applauding below, they were all dumbfounded. Holy crap! What's going on? Isn't this guy a robot? How did he become number 1? FCK. Damn it, this is cheating. I ran so hard to break through the crowd and take first place, but in the end I didn't finish and can only applaud from the bottom. What the hell is this? Zhou Tianao reached the finish line in 1 minute and 40 seconds. Even in his racing video, this map took 2 minutes to run. In terms of skills, these players are not even worthy of carrying his shoes, so it will take even longer. With only a 10-second countdown, he himself couldn't defeat the bug, let alone these passers-by players. So it is natural that it is not completed, unless you cheat. In response to this, the 5 people who thought they had been severely beaten by the cheaters were filled with righteous indignation and cursed. Can't you afford to play? You're so stupid, you're cheating and killing your whole family. Let's play again if you dare. I'll also use cheats and make you cry. Your F****************** G outrageous. Last place suddenly becomes first place. Your family is like you're standing on the podium. You're the only one here, right? Those who can cheat are all orphans. In the novels I read, all the amazing protagonists are from orphanages. Yes, yes, yes. Parents offer sacrifices to the heavens, and their magical powers are boundless. Ellipsis ellipsis. What does the cheating and cleaning up the whole family have to do with my bugged one? Zhou Tianao didn't care at all. He just looked at the barrage of question marks on the screen and challenged directly, is the official goose speed still there? Didn't you say that your game has no bugs? And when will my account be unblocked? As soon as the 3 consecutive hits came out and the rhythm was set, the barrage of comments instantly became exciting again. 8. Official statement. Goose Speed Racing Studio. Seeing Zhou Tianao being scolded by 5 players, Qi Jun suddenly laughed. Brother Jun, what are you laughing at? Xiao Ruian asked in confusion. I laugh at the help of God. Qi Jun explained. Look at the angry faces of these players. This is our best excuse. Huh? What do you mean? Xiao Ruian looked confused and didn't think the two could be connected. How did you get to the PR department? Shi Jun couldn't help but grumble, then continued, "Who are we? We're the official. To be completely blunt, these players are our bread and butter. Without them, we wouldn't exist. If they're being persecuted, of course we have to intervene." "Oh, I think I understand." Xiao Ruian suddenly understood. "You're saying that as the administrators behind the players, we have an obligation to maintain fairness and justice in the game. So, we can consider ourselves the righteous party and use this as an excuse to judge this streamer, saying he violated the rules of the game and justifiably ban him." Seeing this, Shi Jun nodded with satisfaction and said, "You don't have to put it in such a nice way, but that's the truth. Do you understand?" "I understand, but..." Xiao Ruian hesitated to speak and finally remained silent. For a moment, she seemed to see the dark side of the world. She suddenly felt a little scared, afraid to tear open that side and see the bloody and cruel scene. As long as the position is high enough and the power is great enough, black can be turned into white and white can be turned into black. Xiao Ruian thought to herself and couldn't help but take a deep breath. She knew that this was the real world. In response to this, when she looked at the live broadcast room, a hint of pity appeared in her eyes. She knew that even if this top player was at the top, he would never be able to recover after Shi Jun's combination of punches. Watch carefully, the main event is coming next. Shi Jun saw that Xiao Ruian was absent-minded and reminded her, "Study hard, there will be many such things in the future." "Oh, okay." Xiao Ruian came back to her senses and looked towards the live broadcast room, but there seemed to be something missing in her eyes. It is a light called innocence. Are the officials still here? Are they really scared? Zhou Tianao spoke again, but received no response for a long time. After Zhou Tianao's barrage of comments, many people who used to be haters have turned to fans. Holy crap, the Goose Speed official really ran away. Is this the official version? Official, you have the ability to make a bet, but not the ability to fulfill it. No, official, can you please have some shame? Ellipsis. On the Goose flying car side, Shi Jun was explaining to Xiao Ruian. Remember, public relations isn't just about issuing statements. You also need to be able to control public opinion and guide public sentiment. You can hire a troll army if necessary, but not today. Xiao Ruian's eyes were dim. She felt that she was becoming dirty, but in order to keep her job, she chose to persevere. Because the emotions are strong enough, these audiences are now fence-sitters, they will go whichever way the wind blows. You just need to guide them appropriately. As he spoke, Shi Jun typed a few words in the barrage box as a response to Zhou Tianao. Do you think it's fair? Live broadcast room. Goose Speed. Do you think it's fair? Zhou Tianao was stunned by this and responded, what do you mean by fair or unfair? Just because I won, you call it unfair. Goose Speed. I'm not talking about me, I'm talking about those players who were abused by you. As soon as these words were spoken, the barrage of comments quieted down and everyone started to watch the confrontation between the two sides. I asked you to unblock me. I made a bet with you, and now I've won. Why are you talking to me like this? Besides, I was blocked by mistake. I did this to let you know that this game can have bugs, which means the detection system can have problems too. Wouldn't it be okay if you just unblocked my account? It won't be a loss for you. Zhou Tianao didn't know why the Goose was talking about this, but he instinctively felt that it was not a good thing, so he didn't follow its words. After Zhou Tianao finished speaking, his supporters began to speak. So, you officials don't have any idea who this streamer is, right? With his skills, does he need to violate the rules? I completely believe that video now. Becoming the season's top driver is something I couldn't even dream of. Who's really going to lose out by banning such a high-level player? Don't you have any idea? Yeah, how many players do those high-end streamers and other high-end players attract for you on a daily basis? Not to mention other things, just that video, with millions of views, how much revenue must it have increased for you? Do you dare to tell me? That's right, the official is so disgusting. I'm saying this today. If the streamer is not unblocked, I will uninstall the game directly. Me too, I mean what I say. Seeing that public opinion seemed to be overwhelming the authorities, Xiao Ruian panicked. Brother Jun, what should we do? They've started scolding us. Tisk tisk, I didn't expect this guy to have such a powerful mouth. Facing the accusations from the comments, Qi-jun remained calm and said with a smile, don't worry. The higher you praise it now, the worse it will fall later. It's my turn now. After saying that, he started posting comments. Goose speed. Don't change the subject. The detection system exists to punish players like you. We didn't intend to expose your secrets, but you brought this upon yourself. Do you think you have any secrets left to keep in front of the authorities? Look at the angry faces of those 5 players. Games are supposed to bring happiness, yet you treat them like this. As an official, we will never forgive players who destroy the game environment. As soon as these words were spoken, the barrage of comments instantly became filled with more emotional remarks. I suddenly felt so sorry for those people. They just wanted to play a game, but they were treated like this. Yeah, especially the one who came in first. He worked so hard to get first place, but was beaten by that idiot anchor. He didn't even make it to the finish line. If it were me, I'd probably have smashed my computer. Anchor, you have a cruel heart. You are not a human being. How could you do such a thing? Seeing that his emotions were almost aroused, Qi-jun continued typing in front of the computer. Next comes the official statement. After investigation and evidence collection by our technical staff, the illegal operation detected in you was maliciously exploiting a bug to play the game and obtain improper ranking points. This is why you rushed to the first place so quickly ahead of others. Goose Racing has been operating this game for over a decade, adhering to the principles of fairness and justice. We have an extremely advanced and comprehensive detection system that can detect any behavior that disrupts the game balance. You thought you weren't cheating, but your malicious exploitation of a bug to gain ranking points still disrupted the game balance and harmed other players, which seriously violated the game rules we established. Therefore, banning your account is a very reasonable and legitimate act. Please do not harm other gamers for your own selfish desires in the future. In addition, we will fix the bug as soon as possible. Please wait patiently for your account to be unblocked. As soon as these words came out, the barrage of comments exploded. 9. Report a bug. Tisk, I thought the anchor was really innocent, but in the end he was banned for violating regulations. You really have no shame. FK, I trusted you so much, but you actually have a problem. You said you didn't open it, but what's the difference between that and opening it? What's wrong with being a master? Can a master just exploit bugs and abuse players? Do you have any conscience? You have this kind of technology, yet you still resort to such petty tricks. How petty? You think you're such a god? Are you crazy? Isn't your face as thick as a city wall? How could you do such a thing? How could there be such a person? I was wondering how you could rank up so quickly, but it turns out there's something fishy going on. FK. You've ruined my image of great players. I used to think they were all top-tier players, but it turns out they're just some rubbish who cheated their way up. That's right, you rubbish anchor, stop broadcasting and get out of here. Ellipsis ellipsis. The barrage of comments started to attack at once. Zhou Tianao had a gloomy face, but did not respond. Instead, he chose to close the live broadcast room. Although doing so is equivalent to acknowledging the official statement, the official words have absolute authority. In the eyes of players, the official will not speak casually. Therefore, once this statement came out, he couldn't clear himself even if he jumped into the Yellow River. Whether the live broadcast room was closed or not, the fact that he was banned for illegal operations had been confirmed. As the person involved, Zhou Tianao knew very well that this was just a counterattack by the authorities in order to prevent him from unblocking his account. He knows better than anyone whether he has violated any regulations. This statement can fool everyone but him. If you are unkind, don't blame me for being unjust. In fact, there is another reason why he chose to close the live broadcast room, that is, he can only slap someone in the face once a day, and it will have to be refreshed tomorrow. If he counterattacked now, he might feel good about slapping his opponent in the face, but he would lose face slapping points. This was another chance to win a prize, and he didn't want to waste it. Therefore, Zhou Tianao chose a strategic retreat. The live broadcast room suddenly went dark, but the barrage of comments was still, "Carnival. You idiot, you finally admitted it. You ran away pretty fast. Only the internet can give bastards like you a place to hide. If you dare to do this in front of me in real life, I will beat you to death. You shameless B*****************. The domestic gaming industry is in such a bad state because of scumbags like you. That's right, people like you are not worthy of playing games, go to hell. Ellipsis. Done, call it a day." In the PR department, Qi Jun stood up and said, "That's enough. Not only does it protect our official image, but it also provides a thorough and legitimate explanation for this person's account suspension, leaving him with no way to explain himself. This way, you don't have to worry about unblocking him anymore." "Oh, okay, thank you very much, Jun Ji." Xiao Ruian felt very strange. Even though the matter had been resolved, she didn't feel happy at all. "It's a small matter. From now on, just follow my method and you won't make any mistakes." "Yes, I will." After Xiao Ruian finished speaking, she saw the live broadcast room suddenly go black and disconnected, but the barrage of insults continued. She suddenly felt powerless. She folded her hands, lowered her head, and lay on the table, not moving for a long time. Half an hour later, Xiao Ruian raised her face. Although her eyes were still dull, she seemed to be more energetic. She opened the office software and typed a document at a rapid speed. The content is simple and clear, and it is an explanation of the bugs in the new map, Ghost Trail, of Goose Racing. She wasn't quite sure how Zhou Tianao did it, but she felt that since the bug existed, it must be fixed. She quickly printed the document on paper, and when she picked up the paper and was about to leave the public relations department and go to the technical department, she happened to meet Qi Jun. "Where are you going?" Qi Jun asked curiously when he saw Xiao Ruian walking out with a piece of paper. "Go file a bug." Xiao Ruian's matter-of-fact look made Qi Jun stunned. "What bug? Aren't you only 30 years old this year? Memory declined so quickly." Xiao Ruian complained inwardly and explained, "Brother Jun, don't you know about the bug triggered by the anchor? You also said you would fix it. I thought it was nothing, so I wrote a report and prepared to submit it to the technical department." What can I say to you?" Qi Jun said with some dismay, "The biggest taboo between departments is over interference. The technical department can't handle their own affairs, and you, a member of the PR department, are causing trouble for them. Believe it or not, the manager will call you in for tea tomorrow." "But, are we just going to ignore this bug?" Xiao Ruian didn't understand. "Doesn't this game require everyone to work together to complete it? Why do we ignore the bug now that it has been discovered? Even reporting it is a mistake. You still don't understand why the company has so many departments. It's to separate responsibilities. Don't get involved in things that aren't your responsibility. That's the responsibility of the technical department. I said we needed to fix the bug just to deal with those players. My purpose was just to appease people. That's the responsibility of the public affairs department. But, doesn't this bug affect the balance of the game? Why is this not allowed?" Xiao Ruian was still a little dissatisfied. She felt that no matter what, she should at least tell him, right? Seeing that he couldn't persuade her, Qi Jun simply stepped aside and said, "Then go ahead. There are many things that are really useless just talking. Let's go." Xiao Ruian pursed her lips, with a hint of stubbornness, and walked through the floors until she arrived at the door of the technical department. "Just as I was about to push open the door, I found that the door to the technical department was locked and I needed an ID card to enter. There was no one around, so she could only wait outside. Unlike the public relations department, no one here knew her and no one knew who to contact." After standing there for half an hour, just when Xiao Ruian was about to give up, a man wearing a pair of thick glasses, who looked less than 30 years old but had very little hair, came over. He was obviously a senior programmer. Looking at the work badge on his chest, he was indeed a member of the technical department. Xiao Ruian was relieved and quickly stepped forward and asked, "Hello, may I ask who should I contact to handle game bug reports?" Hearing the word, bug, the man frowned immediately, seemingly not caring how young and beautiful the girl in front of him was. He said in a slightly impatient tone, "Who are you? Are you new here? What's the bug?" "No, I'm in the PR department. I'm working on the recently released map, Ghost Trail. I saw someone exploit a bug that ignores the track and allows them to rush straight to the finish line. This kind of bug seriously disrupts the game balance. I think." Before Xiao Ruian could finish her words, she was interrupted. The man said impatiently, "Why are you talking so much nonsense? What's the PR department doing here? Do you know what a bug is? Who asked you to come?" Xiao Ruian, who completely didn't understand the way the science and engineering man talked, suddenly looked aggrieved, but she forced herself not to lose her temper. Instead, she sniffed and said solemnly again, "I came here on my own initiative. I think this bug seriously affects the game balance, so I took the initiative to inform you and ask you to fix it." 10. Money lucky bag. The man didn't hold back and directly retorted, "Do you know how bugs are created? What changes are required to fix them? How much effort does a single bug take? We're already so busy with our own affairs every day, and we still have to deal with problems for you, right? And how come we didn't know about this bug? Do you know how it was triggered? If it's just a random bug, and it won't happen again, spending even a second on it is a waste. If this bug delays the development of other projects and delays their completion, who will be held responsible? Do you even understand bugs, woman?" Xiao Ruian. Back at the Public Relations Department, Xiao Ruian, looking ashen, lay directly on the chair, as if she had lost her life. Suddenly, a cup of coffee was handed to her. She looked up and saw Qi Jun holding the coffee and said with a smile, "I told you, are you embarrassed? Remember this from now on. Don't interfere in things that are not your business." Xiao Ruian took the coffee and took a sip, but she was still a little distracted. "Let's stop here. Don't worry about it anymore. There are still things to do next." Qi Jun comforted him, "I know you're new to the company and have a sense of collective honor. Otherwise, you wouldn't be in this situation. But you have to know that many problems aren't unsolvable, it depends on what can be achieved after the solution. You have to learn to use your limited energy in the right places." Xiao Ruian nodded and said gratefully, "Thank you, Brother Jun." Qi Jun said very gentlemanly, "Come on, we have a new version to release and we'll be busy." "Okay, I'll do my best." Inside the rental house, Zhou Tianao propped his chin up with his hand, staring blankly at the computer screen. He was actually waiting. Through this live broadcast, he has revealed the bug of Ghost Run, and the next step is to wait for the bug to be fixed. But it has been nearly an hour since he went off the air, and he still hasn't received any notification from the system. In other words, the bug has not been fixed yet, and he doesn't know the specific reason. It might take a long time to fix the bug, so forget about it, let's just draw the prize first. Zhou Tianao got up, lay on the bed, and muttered to himself, "Lottery." In an instant, a circular prize plate appeared in his field of vision. It was divided into 8 areas, but it was obscured by a cloud of fog, so he couldn't see the specific rewards. Below it was the balance of his face slapping value. Face slap value, 1193. In this live broadcast, he successfully slapped more people in the face than expected, but that's okay. Since it was a system, Zhou Tianao naturally didn't worry about drawing any dangerous items, so he started drawing directly. After silently reciting it in his mind, the slap value automatically decreased by 1000, and the pointer suddenly lit up and began to spin rapidly. 5 seconds later, Zhou Tianao saw the pointer stopped in the north area. The fog in the area quickly dissipated, and Zhou Tianao saw a round cloth bag filled with overflowing gold coins. Ding! Congratulations to the host for winning a lucky money bag. You can randomly get any amount of money between 1 and 1 million. Ding. Do you want to open the lucky money bag now? Money lucky bag. Zhou Tianhao's eyes lit up. He was overjoyed, and said without hesitation, "Open it." After saying that, the cloth bag full of gold coins appeared in front of him again. Ding. A few gold coins popped out of the cloth bag and fell back into the bag. Then a circle of light appeared and surrounded it. It looked very much like the skin-changing game he had played before, full of inferior graphics. Sure enough, the appearance of light was accompanied by several large golden characters. Congratulations on winning 100,000 cash. Note: the more money you have, the smaller the probability of it appearing. Note: cash will be distributed through reasonable and legal channels. How much is this? Zhou Tianhao didn't see clearly how much money he got from the lucky bag, so he counted it one by one with his fingers: ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands. Just as he finished counting, Zhou Tianhao's 1,000 yuan phone with a broken screen lit up with a ticking sound. Take a closer look. Bank X, your account ending in 520 has received 100,000 yuan, with a balance of 100,023 yuan. Zhou Tianhao was stunned. The money arrived so quickly. At this moment, he looked at the message on his mobile phone and couldn't help feeling sad. Before he got the system, he had just graduated from college. Like many of his classmates, he also fantasized that he would be able to earn $1 million a year soon after he started working. But after he got out, he found that reality was thousands of times more cruel than his dream. Let alone earning $1 million a year, it was difficult to earn more than 10,000 yuan a month. In the end, feeling that he had a talent for games, he chose the path of game proxy training. Relying on his reputation of being in the high segment for many years, he will take some orders. Although he cannot become rich, at least it is better than working in some crappy companies and being bullied every day. He can also make a living. But because he needed to make a living, he took orders at preferential prices, otherwise he would not get them. This meant that he had no problem supporting himself and could even have a good meal occasionally. But other than that, he doesn't dare to buy anything or look at anything, and only uses Pinduoduo for online shopping. The only valuable computer I have is the one I have been using since college. It only cost a few thousand yuan when I bought it. In this era of rapid hardware updates, the configuration of this computer is already considered an antique. Why does he play Goose Speed? Aren't other games better? Is it because he doesn't understand how to play? No, none of them. The main reason is that he has no money. He has no money to replace it with a better configuration. Goose Racing requires very low configuration and is one of the few games that can be played on his computer. This is not pure love, but a compromise with life. When Zhou Tianhao took his first order, he had a fantasy that if he had a lot of money one day, he would definitely buy the best configuration. Whether it's the Beast 5090T, the Trident, or the Eye of Prodigal Son, he wants to buy them all. Buy the best mouse, the loudest keyboard, and a 360Hz screen. You also have to buy two at once, one is the main screen and the other is the secondary screen. These were the things he desired most back then, and all of this required money, lots and lots of money. Now, looking at the text messages on his phone, he knew that he could have everything he wanted. A beating heart, trembling hands. Zhou Tianhao unlocked his phone and slid his fingers quickly across the interface. But he suddenly seemed to have lost his mind, sliding back and forth, not knowing which one to click. Looking at the dazzling array of applications, I was a little overwhelmed for a moment. Suddenly having so much money, he didn't know how to spend it. FK, could you please stop being so useless? Zhou Tianhao forced himself to calm down, took a deep breath, and looked at the screen again. He first opened his own Bilibili website and then found his follow list. There is a digital up host he has been following for a long time. He usually posts videos of assembling computers that cost tens of thousands of dollars. He often watches his videos late at night, watching him assemble hardware that represents cutting-edge human technology, and watching him use these computers to achieve all kinds of scores that he only dreams of. Once, he also gritted his teeth and ran a test on his own computer. As a result, the computer in the video ran over 3 million points, while he didn't even get a fraction of that. He could only look at the screen with envy. After watching it many times, he also knew that this digital blogger not only posted videos but also took orders. In other words, as long as you give him money, he will be responsible for buying computer parts, helping you assemble it, and finally delivering it to you. Of course, Joe Tianao didn't intend to do that. 11. Having money is fun. Assembling a computer was something he dreamed of trying himself, so how could he possibly hand it over to someone else? So, he opened Bilibili just to see which computer met his needs. After looking through the Up-host's past videos, Joe Tianao found that he did not find the video he wanted. He wanted a top-notch computer in all aspects, but he found that the configurations in these videos were only maxed out in one aspect, while other aspects were correspondingly reduced. For example, if someone wants to play games and needs a good graphics card, they will use a top-level graphics card, but correspondingly, the processor does not need to be too good. Some people focus on office work, and as long as the processor can handle it, the graphics card does not need to be so advanced. The reason he knows this is that he knows that different hardware requires different other hardware to match. This doesn't mean you can just buy the best of everything. If you don't match them well, you won't be able to bring out the best of the hardware. He didn't know what kind of motherboard and power supply should be paired with the top-end graphics card and processor he wanted, so he came looking for answers. After all, professional matters should be left to professionals. If you don't understand, don't pretend to know. This is something he learned very early on. But it turned out that he couldn't find any videos that matched his idea. He couldn't help but doubt himself. Was there something wrong with his assembly ideas? So, he could only click on the Up's avatar and send a private message. Hello, Brother Monkey, if I want the best graphics card and the best processor, what kind of configuration do I need to support it? ellipsis. Monkey Brother Digital Studio. Monkey Brother, the digital Up host of Bilibili, who was eating with a takeaway box, suddenly saw that he had received an extra private message. Due to screen limitations, only half of the long text could be displayed, so he saw, "Hello, Monkey Brother, may I ask if I need the best graphics card?" Damn, business is coming. Monkey Brother, who hadn't received any assembly orders for nearly a week, suddenly brightened up his eyes, put down his lunch box and quickly opened the private message. The result disappointed him greatly, as it turned out to be just a question about configuration. He originally wanted to reply later, but in a professional manner, he typed a reply. What do you use this computer for? If you're just playing games, the top-of-the-line graphics card and processor will conflict. Currently, there's no motherboard on the market that's compatible with both top-of-the-line graphics cards and processors. Even if it's compatible, it won't be able to fully utilize its performance. You can't have your cake and eat it too, right? That would just be a waste of money. Joe Tianao was about to check his phone when he suddenly realized that Monkey Brother had replied. After seeing the content, he responded, "What should I do? Is there really no other way?" Seeing this, Monkey Brother didn't want to waste time anymore. He had seen too many people like this who didn't listen to advice. But after thinking about it, he replied, "What's your budget?" 100,000. Monkey Brother took one look and couldn't help but get annoyed. He typed, "With this little money, you can't even afford a top-of-the-line graphics card, and you still want to buy a top-of-the-line processor and motherboard. Go away." Before posting it, Monkey suddenly realized that he was a Up host and couldn't use such an attitude. He quickly deleted the last few words and changed it to, "Give up, this little money is not enough." Joe Tianao frowned upon seeing this and couldn't help but respond, 100,000 isn't enough. In front of the screen, Monkey Brother had already picked up the lunch box and had just taken a bite when he suddenly saw the reply and spat a mouthful of rice directly onto the screen. What the hell? 100,000. Isn't it 10,000? Monkey Brother didn't bother to take the paper, but wiped the string of numbers sent by Joe Tianao with his fingers. Under the screen that had become a little colorful because of the grease, Monkey Brother counted carefully. Ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, brother, father. Oh my god. It's 100,000. Shit. It almost happened. Monkey Brother jumped up suddenly. He didn't expect that a big money sponsor would come today, and he almost drove him away. Only then did he pull out a few pieces of paper, wipe the screen and type. Sorry, I misread it. I thought it was 10,000. Bro, tell me what configuration you want, and I'll take care of it all for you. You want a top-of-the-line graphics card and a top-of-the-line processor, right? Well, I happen to have a motherboard that's not even on the market yet. It's just a bit pricey, and your 100,000 yuan budget is definitely enough. What do you think, brother? Bang. Slap value +1. Joe Tianao was stunned. How could this be a slap in the face? Seeing the host suddenly become extremely enthusiastic, he was also quite amused. For the sake of face-slapping value, he replied. The price doesn't matter. I just want to build the computer myself. Can you just buy the parts for me? Seeing this, Monkey Brother also had an account to operate. This kind of assembled machine that he had never seen before would definitely attract a wave of traffic, so he didn't want to give up. However, he was afraid that this sponsor would have an unstable temper and run away in a moment, so he could only say tactfully. Brother, you came to me and said you watched the video. We all have to post the installation video, otherwise we will delay the update. Can you give us a discount and then we will install it and send it to you? Joe Tianao decisively refused. He just wanted to install the computer himself. What's the point of having it installed and sent to him? But considering that Monkey Brother is a nice person, otherwise he wouldn't pay attention to him, Joe Tianao sent another message. How about this? You send me the parts, and then I'll do a live stream. We'll connect the microphones, and you can teach me how to assemble the computer using voice commands. Then you can make a video and send it out. In front of the screen, Monkey Brother's eyes lit up. This is also a solution. Although it is a bit troublesome, the other party is the sponsor. If you don't meet the requirements of the sponsor, do you still want to make money? With this order alone, he is guaranteed to earn more than 6,000 yuan, which is enough to cover 1 or 2 months' salary of a low-level worker. Okay, I'll do as you say. Let me make a list for you. If you think it's okay, send me the address and I'll send it to you. Not long after Joe Tianao sent it, Monkey Brother sent the list over. The Beast 4090, a 15th generation Intel processor, was a top-tier motherboard that failed to launch due to high costs. All the configurations cost a total of 86,000 yuan. In the past, he wouldn't even dare to look at it. After confirming that there was no problem, Joe Tianao sent his address. No XX, XX Street, Shacheng District, D City, Guangdong Province. When Monkey Brother saw the address and saw East Guangdong Province, a bold idea suddenly came to his mind. Brother, your address is very close to ours. So, you want to install a computer, right? Can we invite you to our studio? We'll teach you how to install the computer, and you can take it home directly after you're done. How about that? Joe Tianao was suddenly invited. Just when he was about to say that he didn't have a car and it was inconvenient, Monkey Brother suddenly said, "When are you free? We can arrange it." "No, I'll pick you up in person. It's only an hour away. By the way, how about we add V first?" Seeing that Monkey Brother had said this, Joe Tianao simply stopped hesitating and replied. "Okay, can you find all the parts by tomorrow? If you can, then tomorrow." As a digital up master, every time there is a new accessory on the market, he will buy it back and review it as soon as possible. He has these accessories ready, so he replied directly. "No problem, brother. Wait for me tomorrow. Don't you need to pay a deposit?" "No need. You've already sent me your address. Don't I trust you? Aren't you worried it's a fake address?" "Really, no need. I trust my brother's character." "Okay, add me as your verses." Everything was done. Zhou Tianao put down his phone, and suddenly felt that the world was so beautiful. It feels great to have money. You can be the big brother wherever you go. At this moment, he was suddenly stunned. 12. Can you afford it? Zhou Tianao looked at his small and shabby rental house and suddenly felt out of place. How can you still live in a place like this when you're already so high up? He suddenly had the urge to move, as he felt it would be unsightly to put a computer worth more than 80,000 yuan in a rental house that cost less than 300 yuan a month. As he thought about it, he couldn't help laughing. He only had 100,000 yuan, and he was so proud of it. It was almost noon and there was still no progress on the bug fix. Zhou Tianao packed up and prepared to go out for a meal and continue waiting. Excluding the budget of 86,000 for the computer, he still has 12,000 to spend. Now he can eat whatever he wants, and he will be considered poor if he blinks an eye. The neighborhood where the rental house is located is very old, at least a product of the 1990s, and it is said that it is about to be demolished and rebuilt. Although the building is a bit run down, the good thing is that there are many cheap and affordable restaurants around it that have been open for more than 10 or 20 years. It is common sense that you can eat so much fried noodles for 10 yuan that you are full. Because he was still thinking about the system's task and always wanted to use the body transformation fluid as soon as possible, he didn't dare to go too far away from the rental house for fear of wasting time. Hey, pretty boy, what would you like to eat? Zhou Tianao is a regular here. As soon as he entered the door, a kind-looking uncle greeted him with a smile. Uncle, give me some fried rice noodles, slightly spicy. What happened that makes you laugh so happily? The uncle is the owner of this store. Zhou Tianao knows him. He is kind but not so enthusiastic. He must be happy about something. How did you know my son got the interview at a big company? The uncle looked at Zhou Tianao in surprise and complained, "This brat, I told him to take the civil service exam but he refused. Instead, he wanted to go to Wangyi and even passed the interview. Now he brags to me every day about the good company benefits and that he can earn more than 10,000 yuan a month. Oh, I really can't keep up with the times. How can you say you can earn over 10,000 yuan a month? I used to only make a few cents a day's work, and I didn't know if the work was hard or not. This kid is really a worry." As he spoke, the uncle could no longer suppress his smile. He started frying the noodles while grinning foolishly, his expression full of pride. "Oh, your son is really amazing." Zhou Tianao was not doing it against his will. Not everyone can get into a big company. One must either be strong or have connections. In any case, those who can get in are all very capable. But he was hungry now and just wanted to eat, so he didn't want to say too much because the bug issue was not settled yet. Soon a bowl of steaming fried rice noodles was served in front of him. Perhaps he was too excited, so the uncle asked with a smile, "Handsome boy, what are you doing now?" "Huh. Nothing much, just making some extra money. I don't have a real job yet." Zhou Tianao didn't want to say more, but the uncle obviously didn't intend to let him go, and said earnestly, "Young men should find a job at such a young age. If you don't work hard when you are young, you will have nowhere to cry when you are old." "Ah, yes, yes. So how much can you earn in a day as a side job?" 100,000. Ha. Slap value +1. The uncle was obviously stunned for a moment, and it took him a long time to react. What kind of extra income could earn him 100,000? Wasn't this guy trying to bluff him? Zhou Tianao's eyes lit up too. Could this also produce a slap in the face value? "Young man, I'm trying to advise you out of kindness. You should find a job as soon as possible." "Okay, no problem." Zhou Tianao received a slap in the face value and was in a good mood. Although it was only one, it adds up to a lot. Seeing that Zhou Tianao looked like a hopeless case, the uncle simply stopped paying attention to him. While slurping noodles, Zhou Tianao opened the comment section. At this moment, the comment section is full of curses, all saying that he was cheating and was confirmed by the official. There were also a small number of people who came out to clarify, saying that his account was blocked because of a serious bug, and he was not cheating. Although the two are different in nature, the results are the same, so in the end he was still scolded, and it didn't make much difference whether he used cheats or not. Some people even sent him private messages to curse him, but Joe Tianao ignored them. All he did was to spread the existence of the bug so that the authorities would notice and fix it, thereby completing the system task. As for the infamy he carried, he believed that within a month, everyone would mysteriously disappear and no one would remember him anymore. The internet is like words written on the beach. As long as a new wave comes, the past will be washed away. A month is enough for the internet wave to go up and down several times. As for his Goose Speed account, he has now figured out how to deal with the Goose Speed official. They clearly made a bet in the comments section. After all, it is an official media outlet, so it's fine if they don't keep their word. They also slandered him, saying that he was blocked by mistake because of a malicious bug. He knew the truth better than anyone else. If he could bear this, he might as well find a piece of tofu and kill himself. Of course, now he has to wait for the bug to be fixed and get the system reward first. Because he suspected that his next action would very likely endanger his own safety, he had to first ensure that even if he couldn't win, he would at least have the capital to escape. Soon, Joe Tianao, who had eaten and drunk his fill, stood up, took out his mobile phone, and prepared to scan the code to pay. As a result, the phone got stuck and the camera couldn't be opened for a long time. In the awkward atmosphere, the uncle smiled and said, "It's okay, we're already regular customers, you can pay the same next time you come." "Thank you. Don't worry, I will definitely return it." Joe Tianao did not insist on staying to wait for his phone to be restored, but left. Seeing that the phone was still waiting for a response, Joe Tianao couldn't help but want to smash it. He had just said that he had earned 100,000 yuan in extra money, but then his phone was stuck and he couldn't pay for the 10 yuan meal. He felt slapped in the face. As expected, if you walk by the river often, you will get your feet wet. The ancients were right. Go change your phone first. Joe Tianao originally wanted to wait until the system tasks were completed before doing anything else. But now his phone is so slow that he can't stand it anymore. Plans always fail to keep up with changes. Joe Tianao made up his mind and walked towards a nearby mobile phone store. Soon, he came to a large mobile phone store. As soon as he entered, a clerk in casual clothes looked over at him from behind the counter. With just one glance, he could tell that Joe Tianao had no more than 100 yuan on him. People like this come here most likely to ask questions rather than to consume. So, facing his arrival, the clerk sat motionless behind the counter, waiting for him to come over. Seeing this, Joe Tianao didn't rush to ask, but looked at the mobile phones in the glass cabinet and walked around the store. When he walked to the place where the model machines and display machines were placed, he just picked up one of the models when the clerk suddenly spoke. "Be careful. If you break something, you'll have to pay for it. I'm holding a mock-up, not a real phone, and you're so anxious." "What if I had a real phone?" Joe Tianao pretended not to understand, picked up the mock-up, and asked, "How much is this phone?" 3,999, if you can't accept it, there are cheaper ones here, would you like some? The clerk seemed a little impatient. Joe Tianao had a blank expression on his face. He took out his phone from his pocket, unlocked the screen, gently placed it on the counter, and pushed it over. At this moment, his WeChat balance was lit on the screen, which was the money he had transferred from his bank card in advance. The clerk looked over with confusion. On the shattered screen, there was an interface that she was very familiar with. 13. Zhou Xinlei. When Joe Tianao walks out of the mobile phone store with this year's latest model of mobile phone, he always can't help but look at the new phone in his hand. Since Xiaomi began to enter the high-end mobile phone market a few years ago, although the prices are no longer as affordable as before, the mobile phones are really getting better and better. It not only looks beautiful and feels good, but also has very strong performance. In the past few years, there may have been some gaps with other high-end brands, but now it is really not inferior at all and even has a leading trend. It's a little pricey, but everything else is good. Zhou Tianao looked at the balance on his mobile phone. The 20,000 yuan was now only 10,000 yuan. The top-of-the-line configuration of 64 GB plus 2 TB cost him nearly 10,000 yuan. After getting the system, he didn't want to put himself in a difficult position anymore, he just wanted to live a happy life. But he has no money now. The remaining 10,000 has to be deducted from the 6,000 he paid for the computer, and the remaining 4,000 is his actual balance. Fortunately, money is not a cheap thing. He has already got the computer and mobile phone he longed for, and there is nothing special he wants in the short term. Soon, he rushed home with his new phone. When passing by the fried noodle shop, Zhou Tianao walked up and said while scanning the code, "Uncle, I'll give you the money for the fried noodles now." The uncle just came out and nodded after hearing his words. "Okay, I knew you were an honest kid. Being honest is not a good thing nowadays." Zhou Tianao laughed in his heart, scanned the code and prepared to pay. The uncle saw him using the new phone and immediately asked curiously, "Handsome, you got a new phone so soon? This phone must be worth 2 or 3,000, right?" Zhou Tianao pondered for 2 seconds and said, "I'll answer this question tomorrow. It was already 2 o'clock in the afternoon when I got home." But Zhou Tianao still didn't receive any news about the bug being fixed. The system helps him monitor this. As long as the task is not shown as completed, it definitely has not been repaired. Considering that the number of face slapping points will not be refreshed until tomorrow, Zhou Tianao will wait until tomorrow to take follow-up actions to avoid wasting face slapping points. The new computer hasn't arrived yet, and he doesn't want to play PC games now, and he can't use it. But mobile games can. Just like PC games, sometimes it's not that he looks down on mobile games, but he really doesn't have the ability to play them. Playing some demanding games is like holding a hand warmer. It's okay in winter, but it's really torture in summer. But now it's different. With his current phone configuration, he can play any mobile game on the market at will, especially at the highest quality. Zhou Tianao opened the App Store, looked through the list, found several of the most popular mobile games, and clicked to download them. While I was waiting for the game to download, someone called. Zhou Tianao's contact list is empty. He only remembers his own and his family's phone numbers. He has to guess at all other calls and simply doesn't answer calls from out of town. This method has ensured that he has never encountered any telephone scams. As for the few friends I have, I communicate through WeChat and never make phone calls. After taking a look at the phone number, he knew it was his sister calling. His sister is Zhou Xinlei, 4 years younger than him, and just started college this year. "Brother, have you found a job?" "No, what's the matter? Can't I look for you if I have nothing to do? Are you my real brother? If you have something to say, say it now. If you have something to say, say it now." Although Zhou Tianao knew that his sister seemed very pretty and lovely in the eyes of outsiders, in his eyes there were always 2 words, indifferent. "When we are together, we have to beat each other without mercy." "Tisk, did you buy Cyberpunk 3077? If you did, could you lend me your platform account to play with it?" Zhou Tianao was stunned. He didn't expect that his sister came to borrow the game to play. Only then did he suddenly remember how his parents had scolded his sister every day before she was banned from playing games for a year in her senior year of high school. Just playing games every day. What future do you have playing like this? If you play with my computer again, I'll smash it, believe it or not. Thinking of these, Zhou Tianao feels particularly nostalgic. Because these are what he has experienced. The main reason why his sister became like this was actually him. Because one day, when his parents were talking to him, they said this. "You just play games every day. Look at your sister, she's 4 years younger than you, but she's so self-disciplined. Every time she comes home, the first thing she does is read and study. And look at you, every time you come home, you just turn on the computer." Then, unconvinced, he walked into his sister's room one day with a game controller when his parents were not at home. From then on, Zhou Xinlei's grades plummeted. It was not until her parents forced her to give away all her game consoles in her senior year that she finally calmed down and studied hard. Perhaps it was because playing games interfered with studying but did make people smarter. After a year of hard work in their senior year of high school, both he and his sister were admitted to good universities. This made my parents very happy. They almost thought that both accounts were ruined, but they didn't expect that they could complete both. Zhou Tianao was also very happy at that time, thinking that he no longer had to feel guilty for delaying his sister's studies. Because of all this, he almost forgot that Zhou Xinlei was a game fan. Thinking of this, Zhou Tianao responded, "I haven't bought it yet, but if you want me to buy one, let me think about how much the game costs." "You really didn't buy it?" On the other end of the phone, Zhou Xinlei's tone was clearly a little unconvinced. Cyberpunk 3077 is a hot topic in the gaming circle recently. Will Zhou Tianao not buy it? Don't you think about who led her into this trap? Hearing this, Zhou Tianao knew that Zhou Xinlei was being stupid again. Who is Zhou Tianao? Zhou Xinlei's brother was born with the ability to crush others in all aspects, including strength and intelligence. As soon as Zhou Xinlei opened her mouth, he knew what she was thinking and said directly, "Aren't you talking nonsense? How much did you buy your computer for college?" "It cost over $10,000, and my parents just said they would buy it. I bought one 4 years ago for a few $1,000s, and I'm still using it." "What an antique. I want to buy one, but can I buy it if I can use it?" Did you abandon your brain at home after leaving high school? You can't even figure this out. Zhou Tianao gets angry when talking about this. He wanted to change his computer before graduation. After he told his dad about it, he was immediately scolded. Then when Zhou Xinlei wanted to buy a computer, he said, "Buy it. Buy a good one." This made him realize that he was no longer at the age where he could have whatever he wanted, and he had to rely on himself to buy what he wanted. "Oh, didn't you expect that? Then I won't bother you anymore." Zhou Xinlei, who was used to being crushed, had no intention of refutation and was about to hang up the phone. Seeing Zhou Xinlei admit defeat, Zhou Tianao decided to quit and said, "I was just asking you a question. If you really want to play it, I'll buy it for you now." The person on the other end of the phone was stunned for a moment, then said indifferently, "Forget it, are you so kind? It doesn't matter if you didn't buy it. There's no rush anyway. You can play it sooner or later." Zhou Xinlei was about to hang up the phone when she suddenly heard her WeChat message ring. Confused, she turned to look at the phone screen. There was a message from Zhou Tianao on the phone, and the content was a WeChat transfer of 2,000 yuan. Zhou Xinlei. Bang. Slap value +1. Ellipsis ellipsis. After the slap in the face and the transfer of money, Zhou Tianao finally showed his brotherly side. Play less games. You still have to study in college. Don't just focus on playing, okay? I remember the game cost over 1,000. I'll give you the rest as pocket money. If you start spending ahead of time, I'll break your legs. As the saying goes, an elder brother is like a father. He still cares a lot about his younger sister who has become troubled because of him. I know, it's so annoying." After a few more pleasantries, he hung up the phone. Looking at the remaining balance of only 2,000 yuan, he felt poverty beckoning him again. This money is always so hard to spend. 14. Pig Croquette. Matsu University. In the girls' dormitory. Zhou Xinlei was stunned when she saw the 2,000 yuan lying in her phone. Where does Zhou Tianao get the money? Just turn around. More than 2,000 is a considerable amount of money for a recent college graduate. She knew that her brother was a substitute player. She also knows a little about this. The price of ordinary orders is low and can only maintain basic living needs. Most of the high-priced orders are for full-time companionship. For example, there is a monthly package that means you can only play with the sponsor within a month and cannot play with others. You have to be on call at all times. Thinking of this, she couldn't help but send a message to Zhou Tianao. You're not being kept, are you? I withdrew a message. Brother, didn't you receive a big order? Elder brother. Brother. Get lost. Seeing Zhou Tianhao's simplicity and clarity, she felt relieved. He only talks at length when he is lying and scolding himself. As for where the money came from, she believed Zhou Tianhao obtained it in a reasonable way. She believed that with her brother's ability, it would be a bit difficult to make a large sum of money, but small amounts of money would not be a problem. Since she was a child, she has always admired Zhou Tianhao from the bottom of her heart, especially in the field of gaming. It's like he has cheats and can play any game well. She once asked a classmate about the same game, and it took her a month to complete it, while Zhou Tianhao completed it in just 1 week. This shocked her greatly at the time. As for her, Zhou Tianhao gave her a very accurate evaluation. She is both bad at it and loves to play. She doesn't care much about this. She loves the world in the game. Sometimes she will just spend the whole day in the game doing nothing. Her dream is to one day create such a world with her own hands. So her major in college is game design. If she can't beat others, then she'll make the rules. Ellipsis. Inside the rental house. Zhou Tianhao has already downloaded several mobile games. Zhou Tianhao spent the entire afternoon immersed in the world of mobile games. But the experience was not as good as expected. At first he felt quite fresh about it. But when he started playing, he found that it was completely different from what he had imagined. For him who is used to operating the game with a keyboard and a controller, it is really uncomfortable for him to play with 2 fingers on the screen. Although he can still defeat his opponents by relying on his own awareness in novice stage. But for him, it was like being imprisoned in a cage, unable to exert his power as he wished. This feeling was a bit painful for him. After thinking about it, he quit the mobile game and didn't want to torture himself anymore. Of course, he doesn't think mobile games are rubbish. He also respects mobile game players. Everyone has different habits, so just choose the way you like. There is no need to force it. It was getting late, and considering that he had to go to Monkey Brothers studio to live broadcast the installation tomorrow, Zhou Tianhao decided to go to bed early. Zhou Tianhao opened the only bucket of pickled cabbage noodles left in the house, poured in hot water, brought it to the computer, and started playing Landlord while eating the noodles. At 10 o'clock in the evening, after losing all his money, he finished washing up and lay on the bed. Thinking back on his experience today, he couldn't help but sigh. Account blocking, system, and face-slapping lottery were all things he had never dared to imagine before. Thinking about it now, it still feels a bit dreamy, like I am dreaming, and everything feels so unreal. Damn, am I really dreaming? Feeling a surge of heart palpitations, Zhou Tianhao quickly opened the face-slapping lottery system. Although his face-slapping points were not enough to enter the lottery, his heart instantly calmed down when he saw the fancy and disadvantageous lottery interface in front of him again. He also has a system, he really does. The anxiety in his heart instantly dissipated. Zhou Tianhao closed his eyes, and fell into a peaceful sleep. Zhou Tianhao got up at 6 o'clock the next day, feeling refreshed. He had never slept so soundly as tonight. After washing up, Zhou Tianhao went out and came to the fried noodle shop. The fried noodle shop serves breakfast and lunch, so it opens very early. Hey, pretty boy, you're up so early, what do you want to eat? When the uncle saw him, he greeted him warmly. I want some soup noodles with some pork offal. Zhou Tianhao needed to replenish water after getting up early, so he ordered a dish with soup. Okay, wait a moment. The uncle nodded and immediately got busy, soon bringing a bowl of steaming hot pork rice noodles and placing it in front of Zhou Tianhao. Enjoy your meal, pretty boy. Zhou Tianhao picked up the disposable bamboo chopsticks on the table, held them in his palm, and pushed them towards the table, and the packaging fell off. Pulling out the chopsticks, he rubbed them against each other a few times to remove the bamboo thorns on them, then held them in his hand and began to enjoy the food. He enjoyed the delicious salty and fragrant pork offal, the smooth and delicate rice noodles, and the scallion-flavored soup base, taking a bite of noodles and a bite of meat, and eating it with great relish. Soon, After finishing the pork offal and noodles and drinking a few mouthfuls of soup, Zhou Tianao stood up contentedly and walked towards the counter. Zhou Tianao scanned the QR code with his mobile phone and was about to leave when he suddenly remembered something and turned to the uncle and said, "By the way, uncle, do you remember the question from yesterday?" The uncle was stunned. "Are you talking about the one about how much your phone costs?" The uncle was confused. He couldn't understand what the handsome guy in front of him was trying to do. Why does it take a day to answer this question? Is there something wrong with your brain? Facing the uncle's caring gaze, Zhou Tianao didn't care at all and continued. "I remember you said yesterday that my phone only costs 2 or 3,000. Yeah, what's wrong?" After the uncle finished speaking, Zhou Tianao took out an invoice from his pocket and slapped it on the counter. "What is this?" The uncle picked it up in confusion, and saw the price of a mobile phone clearly marked on the invoice, 10,899 yuan. Bang! Slap value +1. Hearing that he had been successfully slapped in the face, Zhou Tianao left the fried noodle shop with a smile, without looking back. "Hey! Your invoice." The uncle came to his senses and waved the invoice in his hand, but the handsome guy in the distance seemed not to hear him and soon disappeared around the corner. Seeing the man leave, the uncle complained while holding the invoice. "Who are these people?" After saying that, he couldn't help but glance at the price on the invoice and muttered, "Damn, are cell phones this expensive nowadays? This guy's such an expensive phone, he just replaced it like that. Could it be true what he said before about making 100,000 yuan in extra money?" Thinking of this, the uncle looked outside. The streets were deserted in the early morning, with only a few people walking around. Where could the figure holding the hair in his mouth be? Suddenly, the uncle shuddered, goosebumps appeared on his skin, and he quickly threw the invoice into the trash can, spat, and cursed. "It's so damn unlucky so early in the morning. Ellipsis ellipsis." On the way back, Zhou Tianao took a detour to buy some snacks. When he got home, it was already 7:30 in the morning. At this time, Monkey Brother sent a message. "Brother, we'll be there now and will arrive around 9 o'clock. Please get ready." "Okay." After replying the message, Zhou Tianao opened his own EE Speed Exchange group again. He wants to maximize the profits from this live broadcast. 15. Monkey King. Zhou Tianao is now quite troubled about how to obtain the face-slapping value. It is very difficult to obtain a large amount of face-slapping points if you have no connections and no resources. Although you can usually get face-slapping points, just like Zhou Xinlei and the uncle in the fried noodle shop, the efficiency is too low, so low that it can even be ignored. Therefore, if he wants to quickly gain face-slapping points, he must go to places where there are many people. As for where is considered a large group of people, Zhou Tianao feels that there are quite a lot of sons in his group. The EEE Racing Exchange Group is a group of 2,000 people created by him and several veterans. Now the group is almost full. But many of them are zombies. They either never spoke or spoke before but are now out of touch. At first they were quite active in clearing out these zombies, leaving only the living people in the group. But they soon quit, and eventually there were only more than 500 survivors in a group of nearly 2,000 people. His purpose this time was to drag these 500 people into the live broadcast room and then harvest their face-slapping points. Although he is not the group leader, he still has a high reputation because he is handsome and has good skills. Even if we can't finally bring all the living people here, there should be 300 or 400, which is not a small number. It would take more than 400 days for my uncle. He opened the group chat and skillfully clicked on the chat box. He had just typed in the 3 words, "Ha ha ha ha," when the following words appeared. "Daddy is here, you are so filial to your father, father is kind and son is filial," and other common words. He selected the first one, typed a few more words, and hit send. "Ha ha ha, Daddy is here, good morning, sons." As soon as Zhou Tianao appeared, the group became lively. After all, this racing god's account just disappeared yesterday, and he appeared so early today, giving people the feeling that he was just a fool. God of Cars, are you okay? Don't scare me. This is the first time I see you get up earlier than me. It's broken, the God of Cars is gone, and the people are not right. If you have anything to say, tell me quickly. Don't be discouraged, God of Cars. You can play my account as much as you want. Really, it's free to play as long as you want. Quote question mark question mark question mark. You've lost all the beads on your abacus and you're still calculating. Ellipsis ellipsis. The group has long been accustomed to Zhou Tianhao's way of speaking. Anyone who is not used to it has been kicked out. There's no other way, everyone is counting on him to help with the numbers. Goose Racing often has some very difficult story missions, and there will be a lot of rewards if you pass them. The difficulty of the tasks in the early stages is not too great, but it becomes increasingly difficult as time goes on, and a single mistake will result in the task being unable to be completed. But what they struggled through was as easy as playing in Zhou Tianhao's hands, and so far no story mission could stump him. In addition, when the group encounters a promotion match during the ranking, they will also ask Zhou Tianhao to help him play, but they usually charge a very low fee. This is a special price Zhou Tianhao offers exclusively to his sons. With tangible benefits right in front of them, everyone in the group is happy to see it happen, which also leads to his high prestige in the group. Seeing that there were still people in the group early in the morning, Zhou Tianhao didn't hesitate and typed directly. I have good news for you guys. I changed my computer. God of Cars, what computer did you change? Did you get rich? What did you change it to? God of Cars, don't be fooled. Computers are very expensive these days, especially graphics cards. Second-hand and refurbished graphics cards are everywhere. I believe the God of Cars wouldn't be that stupid, but this thing is really tricky. If you're not careful, you might end up losing a lot of money. Zhou Tianhao. I bought it yesterday from the Upmaster Monkey brother on Bilibili. I've been following him for a long time, so he should be quite reliable. Brother Monkey. That's true. A friend of mine bought a machine from him. The quality and after-sales service were very good. That car god shouldn't have made any mistakes. That's not bad. The racing god is the racing god. He has a clear mind. If it were me, I would definitely be crossing the river by feeling the stones. I would never think of seeking help from these professionals. Yes, I've wanted to change my computer for a long time, but I've been watching and watching, just afraid of making mistakes. Now I know what to do. Thank you for your guidance. By the way, God of Cars, what are the specifications of your computer and how much did you buy it for? Zhou Tianhao raised the corner of his mouth and typed, not much, 80,000. The group suddenly became quiet, and then the screen was flooded with messages, and some lurkers came out. God of Cars, are you kidding me? You can buy a cheaper server for less than 80,000. God of Cars, I admit that you have amazing skills, but I really don't believe this. Yeah, to play a car game like that requires an 80,000 yuan computer. That's not just overkill, it's like using a nuclear bomb to kill a mosquito. The God of Cars is exaggerating. God of Cars, you're not upset, are you? You must have been drinking. Your account was blocked yesterday, and you were so angry that you drank all night. I think it's possible, otherwise this kind of awesomeness wouldn't be possible in a normal state. You don't believe it, right? Just wait. Seeing that his group members really didn't believe him, Zhou Tianhao left after saying a few words, leaving everyone in the group looking at each other in bewilderment. The God of Cars is so crazy, he wouldn't really buy a computer worth 80,000, right? I don't know. I don't believe it anyway. My current computer cost me 20,000 yuan, and it can play almost any game. Wouldn't an 80,000 yuan computer be a waste of money? I'm just wasting money. Maybe the car god is a rich second generation. You've just joined the group and don't know the situation. He just graduated not long ago and is still living in a rental house. Did he tell you this? No, he was helping someone pass the qualifying round and took photos to post in the group chat. He also took photos of the surrounding scene. He said he had just graduated. What rich second-generation person would live in a rental house with peeling walls? So, what the god of cars said was a lie. It's definitely true. There's no way this can be reversed. Then he dares to say such harsh words. He's drunk. I'm even more boastful than him when I'm drunk. Even the god of cars is restrained. Zhou Tianao was standing on the roadside when a domestic SUV with a price tag of 200,000 yuan came up to him with its window open. The driver's seat opened and Monkey Brother got out of the car. He dressed up specially today for fear of appearing indecent in front of his sponsor. But when he saw Zhou Tianao wearing casual clothes, he realized that he was an unconventional person and felt relieved. Let's go. Zhou Tianao didn't waste any time and got into the car and sat in the back seat. Monkey knew that for rich people like him, time is money and being in a hurry is their normal state, so he quickly got into the car, stepped on the accelerator, and rushed to his studio with his financial sponsor. Along the way, Monkey Brother saw that Zhou Tianao had no expression on his face and thought he was a very cold person, so he refrained from speaking. But after a while he felt that this was not a good idea. After all, he was his wealthy client. If he didn't say anything, would he feel ignored and eventually cause the business to fail? After thinking about it, Monkey Brother felt that it would be better to find some topics to talk about. After thinking about it, he prepared to speak to ease the atmosphere. Unexpectedly, before he opened his mouth, the singing voice of the sponsor suddenly came from the back row. Brother Monkey, you are truly amazing. Why did you suddenly start singing? For a moment, the image of Monkey Brother as a cool and generous sponsor collapsed. Bang! Slap value +1. The singing in the car stopped abruptly. 16. So sour. In the car, Monkey Brother felt relieved after realizing that the sponsor was not as aloof as he had imagined. Zhou Tianao also found that UP hosts are also human beings. Although Monkey Brother has hundreds of thousands of fans, he is not arrogant at all. But after all, the two of them had just met, so they could only chat sporadically. Soon the journey of more than an hour was over. Come with me. Monkey parked the car in front of an office building, took Zhou Tianao upstairs, took the elevator, and after coming out and turning the corner, they arrived at Monkey's studio. Are you all ready? Monkey Brother brought Zhou Tianao into the studio. At that moment, there were 2 or 3 people in the studio setting up the live broadcast equipment. Next to it is a bunch of accessories in packaging. A multitasking employee adjusted the lighting, moved the camera to the center of the image with the Monkey Brother Digital logo in the background, and then spoke. Ready to go live anytime. Okay, you can post updates to notify fans now. After Monkey Brother finished speaking, he turned and looked at Zhou Tianao, and after a quick look, he said, "You're so handsome, you don't need to touch up your makeup. But I need to put on some powder, so wait a moment." No problem. Zhou Tianao is a guest now. Although he is a consumer and a god, he cannot really consider himself the master. Soon, everything was ready and it was 11 o'clock in the morning. The live broadcast is expected to last 1 hour. Everything is ready, start the live broadcast. After the employee finished speaking, Monkey Brother, who was dressed neatly and had his makeup done, smiled at the camera and said, "Welcome to Monkey Brother Digital. Today, our studio welcomes a distinguished guest." At first Zhou Tianao was puzzled. It was clearly a live broadcast, so there should be only a few people at the beginning. Why was there an opening statement? But when he remembered the Monkey Brother video he had seen before, he realized that these were all raw materials, and that these live broadcast footage would be edited into videos and posted online later. After Monkey Brother finished his introduction, Zhou Tianao walked into the camera. It would be a lie if he said he wasn't nervous when he showed his face on live broadcast for the first time, but he still greeted the camera with a smile. At this time, a lot of viewers had entered the live broadcast room because of the updates released by Monkey Brother. Seeing Zhou Tianao's appearance, many Barrage players exclaimed in amazement. "Wow, so handsome. His features are so regular, they look like they were carved. Brother Monkey, could you please move aside? You're disturbing us from looking at the handsome guy." Brother Monkey, is this your master? It is said that Tang Monk is like this, with a face as beautiful as jade. Ha ha ha, don't talk nonsense. Although Tang Sanzong is handsome, his temperament is elegant and easygoing. This handsome guy has a very strong temperament. At first glance, he looks like a scheming person. I agree. I feel like if he were my boyfriend, I'd be manipulated at will. I'll explain it in detail upstairs. Monkey couldn't help but twitch his lips when looking at the barrage, and always felt that it seemed a bit of a loss to invite Zhou Tianao this time. What if the audience can't see him anymore in the future? Will he lose fans? In comparison, Zhou Tianao hardly ever reads the comments. Being handsome is a lifelong thing, and he has long been accustomed to it. Since he was only here to experience the computer installation, he did not introduce himself. He just talked about why he wanted to buy such an expensive computer, and the rest was all controlled by Monkey Brother. Wow, tall, rich and handsome. Buying a computer worth over 80,000 yuan without any hesitation is simply inhumane. Damn, not only is he handsome, but he's also so rich. I'm afraid he's being kept by a rich woman. User 154,876 was banned from speaking for 24 hours by the property management, with the reason being, he couldn't stand seeing others doing well. There are all kinds of people. You're so jealous. You can't stand seeing others being handsome and rich, right? Yes, you can tell at a glance that this kind of person has no looks and no money. Look at this maggot-like thing, and then look at other people. The difference is like heaven and earth. The comments in the barrage did not affect the live broadcast. After Brother Monkey has finished introducing all the accessories, it is time to install the computer. During this period, Zhou Tianao shared the live broadcast room to the group using his mobile phone, and people in the group could come in directly by just clicking on the link. While sharing, he also sent a message. Because I'm afraid you won't believe it's me in the livestream, I'll make this gesture later. After saying that, the group members saw Zhou Tianao sent an emoticon package. It was a chimpanzee, with his arms crossed over his chest and a classic black boxer smile on his face. Everyone in the group was shocked when they saw Zhou Tianao's remarks. FK, God of Cars, are you serious? No way. Did you really buy a computer worth 80,000? Has the God of Cars become rich or something? Why do I feel like the God of Cars is fooling us? Isn't that link a scam? No, I believe in the God of Cars. Zhou Tianao didn't care about what was discussed in the group. He didn't expect everyone to come anyway. Next, we'd like to invite our guest to experience computer assembly. He came to our studio specifically to experience the fun of assembly. After Monkey Brother finished speaking, Zhou Tianao was already a little impatient. He walked to the workbench and looked at the accessories neatly stacked in front of him. He couldn't help rubbing his hands. First, let's take out today's computer case. We've chosen the latest from the Prodigal Eye. Following Monkey Brother's instructions, Zhou Tianao took the accessories out of the box one by one. After placing the computer case, he took out the top-notch motherboard that Monkey Brother had promised him. What kind of motherboard is this? Why haven't I seen it before? Why does such an expensive computer use a cheap motherboard? This is such a waste. I can't stand this. When commentators saw this unknown motherboard, they all thought that Zhou Tianao didn't know anything, or that he was just trying to save money on the motherboard. A few even started to mock him. What can I do if I have money but no brains? Such a good computer can't perform at its full potential without a good motherboard. It's really funny. Yeah, it seems like being rich doesn't mean you're any smarter than us. Such a good accessory is such a waste. I feel like this computer might not even be his. Either someone else asked him to buy it, or Brother Monkey hired someone to do it. The comments in the barrage were agreed by many people. After all, no one had ever seen this motherboard. However, the two people in the live broadcast room acted as if they didn't see it and just looked at the new motherboard on their own. The solid materials and heavy texture give people the feeling that it can withstand any tossing. With a ripping sound, Zhou Tianao tore off the protective film on the memory module cover. The process was very relaxing. At this time, Monkey Brother spoke. Is everyone unfamiliar with this motherboard? In fact, this is a motherboard that has never been put on the market. Of course, the main reason it can't be put on the market is not because of quality issues, but on the contrary, because its performance is too good, which caused the cost to soar and it couldn't be mass-produced. This year's 5090 graphics card and the 15th generation Spiderweb processor have both reached peak performance in their respective fields. This means there's no motherboard on the market that can handle both. So, adhering to the concept of maximizing performance, this motherboard was designed, but unfortunately it could not be mass-produced in the end. As soon as these words came out, everyone in the comment section felt their faces burning. They never thought that this motherboard was so awesome. Bang. Slap value +1. Bang. Slap value +1. 17. The road is too wild. When the applause in his mind stopped, Joe Tianao discovered that he had gained more than 2,000 face-slapping points. 2 chances to draw are now yours. He couldn't help but sigh inwardly. Big Up is different. The audience in the live broadcast room can easily hit him in the face and interrupt his live broadcast several times, and that's only when he is led by the rhythm and has the heat. Because Brother Monkey did not introduce this motherboard in detail when introducing the accessories before, he simply summarized it as enough to carry all accessories. In addition, the Beast 5090 and the 15th generation Spiderweb processor were too dazzling, which led to the Barrage's misjudgment of the motherboard and caused him to be slapped in the face. There will be no such opportunity next time. Joe Tianao began to immerse himself in assembling computers. After fixing the motherboard, he took out 4 small boxes one by one, each containing 64GB memory sticks. He wants to form an ultra-high running memory of 256GB. Tear off one of the protective films, align it with the card slot, insert it and it will be installed with a click. Repeat the above steps for the remaining 3 lines. Click, click, click. Joe Tianao felt relieved and turned around to pick up the 2 solid-state drives at hand. Open the package, take out a solid-state drive that is about the same size as the memory stick, then use a screwdriver to open the cover on the motherboard, unscrew the screws on the socket, and finally insert the hard drive horizontally into the card slot, tighten the screws, and close the cover. Repeat this operation for another piece. Joe Tianao was immersed in the world of computer installation and was fascinated by the barrage of comments. It's so cool. Even though I may never be able to afford it in my lifetime, I just love to see it. Yeah, it's really stress relieving. I really envy those who can install these top-notch accessories by themselves. Woo woo woo, if only I could install one myself once, I would die without regrets. These are the highest achievements of human scientific and technological civilization. Although I can't be a scientist and don't understand the underlying principles, it's still very exciting to be able to touch them with my own hands. It's a shame, we can only watch. Big Brother not only bought it, but also installed it himself and used it himself. Ah, why is the gap between people so big? No, I think I need to have a plan for my life. I want to sell my kidney. Does anyone have any channels? No, really no, the black market won't give you that much money. They won't tell you the price before you sell it. They'll give you an estimate after they've cut it up. How come this guy upstairs knows so much? Does he have connections? No, I once had a dream, and I even dared to sacrifice my life for it. Quote ellipsis quote. User 16549 was banned by the administrator for spreading improper values. User 15457 was banned by the administrator for being too unconventional. User 45786 was permanently banned by the administrator. He eats all kinds of melons. After installing the memory stick and hard drive, it is the turn of the 2 heavyweight guests in this computer, the graphics card and processor. When he unpacked the Mengshu 5090, not only him, but also the barrage of comments began to express their feelings. The luster of steel, the knife-like appearance, the texture of heavy metal, and the 4 turbo cooling fans, each of them touched the nerves of the men present. So F asterisk 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 G domineering. FK. That really hit my XP. So damn cool. Powerful performance, domineering appearance, the undisputed king of graphics cards, is this the Beast 5090? Outrageous. She exudes an unparalleled charm both inside and out. Ah. I want it so badly, but I can't afford it. Although Zhou Tianhao's emotion was not as exaggerated as the barrage, it was almost the same. He carefully tore off the protective film on the graphics card, then clenched his hands very carefully and inserted the graphics card slot into the motherboard. With a click, the graphics card was inserted. Zhou Tianhao picked up a screwdriver and fixed the graphics card with screws. The graphics card is very heavy, so the tail needs to be fixed with screws, otherwise the card slot will be deformed over time. Next is the installation of the 15th generation Spider Web processor. Since the motherboard has a simple design, the process is very simple. Just take out the processor, align it with the corners of the same shape, and press the clip down, and you're done. Then you need to apply silicone grease, which is very simple depending on the processor water cooling. Once he connected the power supply, the computer was fully assembled. However, the wiring is very messy at the moment and needs to be integrated with plastic tape. For this part, Brother Monkey asked their professional staff to come out. Once the lines are arranged, everything looks much more beautiful. After installing the chassis cover, this computer worth 86,000 yuan is completely assembled. Zhou Tianhao let out a long sigh. After all, it was a live broadcast, and it would be a lie if he said he was not nervous at all. But it is really cool to build a top-of-the-line computer of your own. As a gamer, there is nothing more exciting than this. Soon, the computer was installed and Brother Monkey began to install the system. The moment you plug in the power and press the power button, all the fans in the entire chassis start whirring. Brother Monkey plugged in the USB drive and loaded the system. The reading speed is quite fast nowadays, and a brand new system was installed in 2 or 3 minutes. After everything is set, press the power button again. At this point, the connected screen lights up instantly. In less than 2 seconds, or even half a second, the system desktop appeared on the screen. It boots up in 1 second, and the desktop is bare without any software downloaded. The next step is the familiar running point segment. Actually, I'm even more curious than you are. What kind of score can this computer, equipped with both a 5090 and a 15th generation processor and a top-notch motherboard, achieve? I'll start the guessing game later. Everyone can guess how many points we can score. After saying that, Monkey Brother signaled the administrator of the live broadcast room to start the competition that had been prepared long ago. Guess the topic. How many points can this computer run? A. 2 million to 3 million. B. 3 million to 5 million. C. 5 million to 8 million. D. 8 million to 10 million. During the preparation for the betting, Brother Monkey had already downloaded the scoring software on Zhou Tianhao's computer. The software has been downloaded, the contest has opened, and everyone can start voting. After Monkey Brother finished speaking, a small guessing icon appeared on Danmu's phone. Click on it to participate in the guessing. As soon as the guessing game started, many comments began to analyze which one to choose. Although this computer is amazing, I've seen a lot of videos and the configuration of the Bolt Beast 5090 is only about 5 million. And its processor is not bad, so this one is only about 6 or 7 million at most. Brothers, you can't go wrong with C. You have too many words, so I'm going to mess with you. Not necessarily. This computer has such a powerful motherboard, so it should be able to deliver even better performance. I think 8 million is fine, maybe even 8.5 million. You should choose D. That makes sense, I'll hang out with you then. In this way, the contestants were divided into 2 camps, focusing on options C and D. There were also a few people who chose A and B. It was obvious that they voted with their toenails and did not care about the results of the guessing at all. It started. While the guessing statistics were being compiled, Monkey Brother also started running the scores. Various data constantly appear on the screen, and when it comes to the graphics card running point section, it enters a special 3D scene. The detection program will score the graphics card based on its performance in the scene. When the scene is exited, the running score is almost over. The next moment, under everyone's gaze, a number popped up on the screen, instantly shocking everyone. FK. This is outrageous. He opened the door to outrageous things. This is outrageous. 18. Set a record. On the screen, there is a string of extremely conspicuous numbers. 12,567,900 points. The score of over 12 million left everyone stunned. What the hell? What the hell are these numbers? There's a problem, right? There must be a problem, right? How can there be a computer with over 10 million points? This kind of score can only be achieved with a server used by an enterprise. It's impossible. There must be something wrong. What made the commentators feel even more incredible was the string of small-sized words beneath the number of over 10 million. Congratulations, your computer has surpassed 100% of the computers in the world. After noticing this line of words, everyone in the barrage was dumbfounded. Holy crap, this is outrageous. This is the first time I've seen this sentence reach 100%. Doesn't it always show 99%? Yeah, hasn't that been said for fun since ancient times? I remember when I used to run a test on a computer I built with scrap metal, it said I was over 99%. How can it still show 100%? Oh my god, am I witnessing history? The entire barrage was shocked, and Joe Tianao was also quite confused. Can this really be 100% accurate? Bang. Slap value +1. Bang. Slap value +1. Bang. Slap value +1. Joe Tianao didn't quite believe it at first and thought something was wrong. After all, although a computer worth more than 80,000 yuan is expensive and has powerful performance, it is not to the point where it can defeat everyone. He is not that arrogant yet. But seeing that his face slapping value increased by more than 3,000, he had to believe that this was true. Next to him, Monkey saw his confusion and explained with a smile. As I said before, this motherboard has never been released to the market. It can bring out the full performance of the graphics card and processor. There's no motherboard currently on the market that's compatible with both the 5090 and 15th generation processors, but this one does. So, you've set an unprecedented record, surpassing everyone and achieving a 100% surpassing rate, unprecedented in history. Also, this benchmark software has been categorized before, one for personal computers and one for industrial computers. In other words, within the realm of personal computers, the performance of the computer you have is indeed the best in the world. As a professional digital host, Monkey Brother naturally won't speak casually. What he says must have a basis. This also means that Joe Tianao's computer truly surpasses 100% of the computers in the world. The barrage suddenly boiled over. More than 10 million running points. Surpass 100% of computers. Awesome. 666. Is this the power of money? That's outrageous. I used to think 80,000 yuan was nothing, but now I realize it's a lot. So much so that I can actually surpass everyone else by buying an 80,000 yuan computer. Excuse me, how much is your monthly salary? 80,000 is nothing. 3,000, what's wrong? 6. I think this is the benefit of spending money wisely. 80,000 yuan is all about performance. I've seen streamers spend 200,000 or 300,000 yuan on computers, but most of that goes into fancy cases, and the performance is only comparable to a 30,000 or 40,000 yuan computer. Don't look at those, they're useless. The person who sold him the computer knew that the anchor had plenty of money. He only made 98,000 yuan out of a 100,000 yuan computer. There's no value for money at all. He just wanted to have fun. Yeah, there was a streamer on YouTube who bought a new computer worth over 100,000 yuan, but when he played League of Legends in a group, it was only 60 FPS. I almost died of laughter. I understand. Next time I buy a computer, I have to learn from others and spend my money on the right things. Damn, do you still have this motherboard? Can you give me one? I want this motherboard too. Yeah. I can still afford it if I grit my teeth and buy it for 80,000 yuan. Do you still have this motherboard? The jumping thoughts in the barrage caught Monkey Brother off guard. He was praising the computer 1 second and then started asking him if he had a motherboard the next second. To this, Monkey Brother could only smile and explain. I'm sorry, I only have one of this motherboard. I don't have any more. But don't worry. With current technology, I believe similar motherboards will be available soon. You won't have too much time to buy one then. However, the comments did not buy Monkey Brother's explanation. Why do I feel like you're performing? Yes, logically speaking, since this motherboard can be unveiled, it should be mass-produced. Otherwise, it would be a trade secret. How could it be shown in the live broadcast room? That makes sense. I'll report it first and wait for the live broadcast room to be blocked. I've also reported it. Brother Monkey, if you accidentally exposed someone else's business secrets, please get off the air immediately, otherwise it will be too late to make amends. Yes, this kind of anchor is so amazing, it's impossible for ordinary people to do it. Only big companies have this ability. Brother Monkey, don't make the mistake. So, this buyer is also fake. It's possible. No, definitely. I suspect all the benchmark software is fake. How could there really be a computer that surpasses 100%? Are all feelings scripts? Brother Monkey, have you learned to lie? No, I won't accept it. I'm unfollowing you. Me too. The direction of public opinion suddenly turned one-sided, giving Monkey Brother an unexpected slap in the face. He quickly turned off the microphone and shouted in the work group. Housing manager, what is the housing manager doing? Housing manager, sorry, I just went to the bathroom. The room manager in the toilet rushed into the live broadcast room without even pulling up his pants and started killing people. User 467,816 was permanently banned for talking nonsense. User 19,737 was permanently banned for talking nonsense. User 473,499 was permanently banned. Reason: if you unfollow me, don't come back. Ellipsis. A group of people were banned from speaking, and the live broadcast room returned to normal, but its popularity also dropped by half. The remaining comments were less aggressive, but still contained some dissatisfaction. You guys have to produce evidence. I always feel like you're acting. Besides, Monkey Brothers live broadcasts used to only have one person show up. Suddenly, a buyer shows up. No one would believe that, right? Yeah, isn't Brother Monkey's livestream all about selling stuff? I just want to buy a motherboard, why are you deliberately keeping us hanging? Yeah, there's no reason to drive away consumers. Brother Monkey, aren't you afraid of being sued and bankrupted by the merchants? Seeing this, Monkey Brother helplessly emphasized again, I told you, this is just a coincidence. I just happened to get this motherboard, and this gentleman came to me to buy a computer, so I gave it to him. There really isn't a second one. After saying this, Monkey Brother saw that the comments on the screen were still unconvinced, so he immediately took out his phone, put it in front of the camera, played the chat history between him and Zhou Tianao, swiped up and down the conversation, and said, "You don't believe me, right? Then take a look for yourself. Where did the script come from? Where did the actors come from? I'm just trying to make some money, so why should I reach for the moon for you?" Monkey was talking with saliva flying all over the place when he suddenly felt a hand grabbing his arm. 19. Would you like to try lighting a cigarette? Turning around, he saw Zhou Tianao turning off the microphone, looking at him and shaking his head. Before discussing evidence, we need to first discuss logic. Everything is based on evidence. Their claim that we are actors is completely groundless. Why are you so eager to prove we are not? You should let them prove we are actors first. Ah, that's right. Monkey Brother quickly put away his phone and said with a smile. Mistake. My problem is that I was a little impatient. Zhou Tianao glanced at the time and reminded. The live broadcast is almost over, we can end it now. This kind of thing will soon be forgotten. Okay, I'll turn off the live broadcast right away. Monkey Brother was interrupted by this and was in no mood to broadcast live anymore, so he turned on the microphone and said, "Dear viewers, today's live broadcast ends here. Thank you for watching." When the commentators saw that Monkey Brother was going to close the live broadcast room, they immediately started clamoring. "What's wrong? Are you afraid to confront me? This is hilarious. I used to think Monkey was a real guy, but I never thought he'd get into this kind of stuff. I really misjudged him. Just promote the product. I've figured out the whole process." Monkey Brother exposed company secrets to gain traffic, bought himself a top-of-the-line computer, and then hired a shill to take the blame. This way, he could set the world's first running score record. He's worthy of being Monkey Brother. What a clever monkey. I see. Listening to your words is worth 10 years of reading. I understand. Monkey Brother ignored the doubts and slanders in the barrage, and instead planned to close the live broadcast room directly. But at this moment, Joe Tianao came over again and motioned Monkey Brother to wait. This time, he spoke personally. "I originally thought you were just talking nonsense, but now that you've presented your so-called evidence, I think it would be best to refute it now." Then, under Monkey Brother's puzzled gaze, Joe Tianao took out his mobile phone, opened WeChat, and clicked on his friend's verification information column in full view of everyone. It contains Monkey Brother's verification, and the time shows that they just added each other as friends yesterday. This proves that the two of them just met yesterday. How could there be any actor deal? Bang. Slap value +1. Bang. Slap value +1. This wave earned Joe Tianao more than 1,000 face slapping points. But this is not enough. The barrage can still be refuted. Who knows if you guys prepared this show in advance? This kind of thing is so easy to fake. Don't think we'll trust you just because you're handsome and have a nice voice. That's right, unless you say a few more words. As soon as Joe Tianao opened his mouth, many lurking comments started to praise his nice voice and handsome looks. But Joe Tianao ignored it and looked at the comment at the beginning and said, "Since you said this is a good disguise, let me show you if it's a good disguise." Joe Tianao smiled slightly and looked at Monkey Brother. "The price we agreed on is 86,000 yuan, right?" "Ah. Yes, that's right." Monkey Brother was completely confused. He was not allowed to refute just now, so why was he taking the lead now? What about the certificate that was agreed upon? Joe Tianao knew what Monkey Brother was thinking, but there was nothing he could do. It was a matter of face-slapping value. If he let Monkey Brother slap him in the face, he wouldn't be able to reap the benefits. It can be seen from the slap in the face just now that Monkey Brother's live broadcast room still has potential. Although it is not as popular as at the beginning, it should not be a problem to harvest 1 or 2 more chances to win the lottery. Then let's complete this transaction in front of everyone. As soon as Joe Tianao opened his mouth, Monkey Brother suddenly understood. He clapped his legs and said, "Holy crap. That's brilliant. That's more than 80,000 yuan, which most people can't afford." Completing the transaction in this way can be used to prove the authenticity of the transaction. But soon Monkey Brother thought of a question and said, 80,000 yuan is not a small amount, but I own a studio after all, so I can afford to pay that much. This still doesn't completely prove that we're not actors. As long as someone says we colluded in advance, the result cannot be changed. Monkey Brother did not turn off the microphone when he said this. As soon as he finished speaking, the barrage of comments became arrogant. You still say you're not actors. If you weren't, you'd definitely have a way to prove it, but now you can't even think of a way, and you still say you're not fake. To be fair, that's indeed the case. It seems like you guys have nothing to wash. It's confirmed. There's no turning back. What does it mean to boost others' ambitions while destroying your own prestige? But Monkey Brother is not one of us. Joe Tianao said helplessly. Now that I've said it, there must be a way. What method? Monkey Brother felt dizzy and didn't know what was going on in his head. Just tell me the evidence. Tell me about the evidence. That's right. First of all, the comments say you're doing it for traffic. Could you please show us your previous live streaming data? Is it really for traffic? When Monkey Brother heard this, he quickly took out the laptop computer beside him, opened the backstage of the live broadcast room, and checked the previous live broadcast data. Sure enough, when he saw this, Monkey Brother's face was immediately filled with excitement. He quickly picked up the computer, put the screen in front of the camera, and said confidently, "Today's popularity is higher, up to 100,000, equivalent to 10,000 viewers. In the past, if you look at it yourself, most of the popularity was only 80,000 or 90,000. You say I'm doing it for traffic, but has the traffic increased? It has, but not much. So, if you think I'm a fool for spending over 80,000 just to increase popularity by 10,000 or 20,000, then I'll have the property management ban you all right now, believe it or not. At worst, I'll stop broadcasting in the future. Popularity can be increased with money, but if 80,000 or 90,000 yuan were converted into popularity, it would at least reach 1 million popularity, or even more. I'm a moron, I wouldn't spend 80,000 yuan like this even if it's just a waste of money." After Monkey Brother finished speaking, Zhou Tianao said, "Whether the words are blunt or not, is there anyone who objects? If not, then we have won the argument. Bang. Slap value +1. Bang. Slap value +1. Bang. Slap value +1. This time, he once again gained more than 500 face slapping points. Next, you guys are saying I'm Monkey Brother's agent, right? The barrage of comments has been quiet since the beginning, but the popularity remains high, and it is obvious that everyone is waiting and watching. Zhou Tianao seemed to be talking to himself. They said I should take the blame and they're worried about leaking trade secrets. That kind of thing is easiest to handle. Just contact the authorities. Ordinary people like us may not have the corresponding channels, but large companies are extremely sensitive to such matters and will definitely investigate matters involving business. Therefore, as long as we report the matter to the platform, it will definitely be verified." The comments remained silent, but the silence meant that they agreed with Zhou Tianao's approach. "I happen to know someone from Bilibili. I'll send him a message right away." "No, it can't be you." Zhou Tianao rejected Monkey Brother's approach. "Letting you in will only muddy the waters. Every live streaming room has a super administrator. For things like this, just call the super administrator. But the super administrator usually doesn't show up easily." Zhou Tianao hesitated for a moment. "Why don't you light a cigarette and try?" 20. Eyes full of light. "Would you like to try lighting a cigarette?" At this moment, Monkey Brother seemed to realize that his financial backer was not simple. This ability to handle things in reaction time is definitely not something that ordinary people can possess. Nowadays, all major platforms strictly prohibit anchors from showing attractive scenes in the live broadcast room. The lightest punishment is a warning, and the worst is to ban the live broadcast room. Although he could find the official, Zhou Tianao was right, it was useless for him to go on stage in person. We can only find people who everyone agrees with to handle this matter. The super moderators who roam around in various live broadcast rooms are the best candidates. After figuring all this out, Monkey Brother was immediately filled with admiration for Zhou Tianao. As long as the official proves his innocence, his number of fans and the popularity of his live broadcast room will definitely skyrocket in the future. Sure enough, the live broadcast room remained silent, but its popularity also increased. Zhou Tianao seemed to see a mouth harder than stone waiting for him to pry open. "I'll go get some cigarettes." Monkey Brother reacted and quickly ran to the employee area. He himself did not smoke, but two of his employees were heavy smokers, so there must be smoke in the work area. Running over, Monkey Brother indeed found a pack of cigarettes on the ashtray next to the computer. Before the employee could react, he snatched the cigarette and ran back into the camera. "Here it comes, the smoke is coming. Light it up." Monkey took the cigarette and lighter and lit it with a click. He doesn't smoke, but he pretends to be an old smoker, looking like he's enjoying it. But as soon as he took a puff, he started coughing violently. Shit. It's so choking. I'm probably better off getting used to the secondhand smoke. Joe Tianao. 6. All of Monkey Brothers' actions have just been broadcast live, and all we have to do now is wait for the super administrator to arrive. Sure enough, less than a minute after the smoking monkey brother appeared on the screen, a bright red line immediately appeared in the barrage. Warning. Cigarette smoking is not allowed in live broadcast rooms. This warning will deduct 2 points from the live broadcast room. If the points are less than 5, the live broadcast room will be banned. Every anchor's live broadcast room has a fixed score, just like a driver's license score. If the anchor violates the rules, points will be deducted. In serious cases, all points may be deducted and the live broadcast room may be banned. Something like smoking is the lowest punishment. Here I am, super moderator. I have something to ask you quickly. It involves copyright. When Monkey saw the super administrator appear, he immediately put out his cigarette butt and threw it into the trash can to show his attitude. The super administrator was also stunned when he saw this. Can you fish with this? However, when he heard Brother Monkey mention copyright, he immediately took it seriously. Copyright is something that could cause the company to lose a lot of money. What is it? When the super administrator spoke, Monkey Brother immediately explained the whole cause and effect. Let me be a witness. After the super manager explained for a long time, I finally understood what had happened. This matter involves the motherboard's commercial secrets. If Brother Monkey really does something wrong, he will definitely deal with it seriously. It would be fine if he didn't know, but even if he knew, he still wouldn't care, unless he didn't want to work anymore. The job of a super administrator is quite pleasant, with high salary, good benefits, and most importantly, the power of life and death. This power of life and death specifically means, if someone sees something indescribable in a live broadcast room, he can feast his eyes on it and then ban the live broadcast room, preventing those who come later from enjoying it. His behavior is extremely cruel but very satisfying. He would not be willing to give up this job unless a better one came along. So, the super administrator typed. Okay, send me the motherboard model and I'll check it out. No problem. Brother Monkey opened the backend, found the official news channel, and sent the motherboard model. As for the outcome, he didn't have to worry at all, he knew this better than anyone else. If Joe Tianao hadn't asked him to prove it personally, he wouldn't have had to go through the super administrator to handle the matter. So, after receiving the news, the super manager alerted his boss and sent over the motherboard model that had not yet been launched. The higher-ups take this very seriously. Basically, only large companies are able to manufacture motherboards. These companies are very strong, and the cost they have to bear if any problems arise is very high. The boss quickly found his boss and sent him the motherboard model. Soon, the super administrator received a reply. This is a failed product. It doesn't matter whether it's confidential or not. Upon hearing this, the super administrator breathed a sigh of relief, returned to the live broadcast room, and typed. There's nothing wrong with the motherboard, and there's no copyright dispute. Seeing this, Joe Tianao immediately asked back. You guys were yelling so loudly just now, what about now? Can anyone show me some evidence to refute the super administrator? Bang. Slap value +1. Bang. Slap value +1. Bang. Slap value +1. Ellipsis ellipsis. The last step is, I'll transfer the money to you now. Next, under everyone's gaze, Joe Tianao scanned Monkey Brothers' QR code and entered the amount of 86,000 yuan. With a beep. Enter your password. The sound of gold coins falling into a purse was heard, and a familiar voice came from Monkey Brothers' phone. WeChat payment received 86,000 yuan, thank you. At this point, things have completely turned around, and no one doubts that he and Monkey Brother are shills anymore. Bang. Slap value +1. Bang. Slap value +1. Bang. Slap value +1. Hearing the applause in the silence, the seemingly quiet barrage gave Zhou Tianao more than 3,000 face-slapping points. Adding the previous 6,000, it's exactly 10,000 face-slapping value, a full 10 chances to draw a lottery. Things have come to this point, and there is no need to prove anything further. The super moderator spoke, and the barrage also tacitly agreed. Now that the super moderators are on their side, it is very clear whether the matter is true or false. FK, the super moderators are also dragging their feet. This is the drama you guys on Bilibili are playing. That's right, it's all just a script. How can such a coincidence happen? It must be fake. A few comments are still stubborn, but they can no longer influence anyone. The matter has been settled, the live broadcast has ended, and Brother Monkey has closed the live broadcast. Brother, shall I take you home now? Brother Monkey turned off the computer and looked at the incoming money on his mobile phone, feeling particularly happy. No, I can take a taxi back by myself. I won't bother you. Zhou Tianao rejected Monkey Brother's kindness. After all, he had received such a huge slap in the face from the audience in the other person's live broadcast room, and he felt embarrassed to trouble him again. That won't work. Monkey Brother still wanted to insist, but was rejected by Zhou Tianao again, and finally had to give up. Next, Monkey packed the computer tightly and carefully tied a rope so that he could carry it. Originally, Monkey Brother wanted Zhou Tianao to send it back by express delivery. But Zhou Tianao didn't want to do that. It was such an expensive computer, so he decided to escort it personally to feel more at ease. There's no other way. This is the first big treasure in my life, I have to take good care of it. So, with 2 monitors in his left hand and a computer host in his right hand, Zhou Tianao got on a business car and left the studio where Monkey Brother was. Before leaving, Monkey Brother had intended to give him a new set of peripherals, but he refused. He didn't want to have any regrets about this computer, so he planned to buy the best peripherals. Therefore, he probably wouldn't be able to use what Monkey Brother gave him, so he refused it to avoid wasting it. At 3 o'clock in the afternoon, after unlocking the door, Zhou Tianao pushed it open with his arm and walked in carrying his top-of-the-line computer worth 80,000 yuan. At this moment, his eyes were filled with light. 21. It seems you haven't eaten enough yet. After returning home, Zhou Tianao couldn't wait to dismantle the old computer bit by bit. Brother, thank you for your hard work over the years. Thank you for helping me through those countless days and nights. Zhou Tianao gently stroked the border of the old screen with his hand, as if he was looking at his former lover. The next moment, he resolutely stuffed the old host and screen into the cardboard box he brought back, packed it up, sealed it, and threw it into the corner of the room. Then he turned to look at the new computer, his eyes full of passion. The computer has been brought back fully assembled. You just need to connect the monitor cables, plug in the power supply and network cable, and you can use it directly. Although he didn't ask for Monkey Brother's peripherals, he asked for a stand that could support the main screen and the secondary screen. Set up the shelf and install the 2 360 Hz screens, with the main screen placed normally and the secondary screen placed vertically. Put the host on, plug in the line, network cable and power supply, turn on the power switch with a click, and press the host button. Buzz buzz buzz. In the quiet rental house, a buzzing sound was heard, like a huge rock hitting the calm lake, causing ripples. Zhou Tianao smiled like an auntie, and the screen lit up, still booting up in less than a second. Putting his hand on the mouse, he clicked to enter the desktop. Suddenly, there was a click from above and behind the door. The screen went out instantly, and the buzzing sound of the host computer also returned to silence, just like a car turned off. Zhou Tianao was stunned and looked at the position behind the door. There was an air switch, which was also the main power switch, and it was in the off state at the moment. The circuit breaker tripped. Zhou Tianao suddenly reacted, crawled under the table, stared at the host and said in panic. FK, the sudden power outage is not going to burn out my computer, is it? $80,000 won't be wasted, right? Fortunately, after taking a closer look, he didn't smell anything and didn't see anything unusual, so he felt relieved. After coming out from under the table, Zhou Tianao remembered that high-power electrical appliances were not allowed in this rental house. If the power exceeds 1200W, it will automatically trip. Because his computer is equipped with many top-level accessories, the power supply needs to reach 1800W to keep the accessories running. In other words, he cannot use this computer in this room now. Damn, I should have changed places first. Zhou Tianao's mouth twitched twice. It was so tortuous to buy a new computer but not be able to use it. Since the new computer couldn't play, Zhou Tianao simply lay on the bed, ready to use the 10,000 face-slapping points he had earned today. After opening the turntable and looking at the sparkling lottery world full of low-quality light effects, Zhou Tianao was too tired to complain and started drawing the lottery directly. Silently recite, "Lottery," in your mind. The slap value will automatically be reduced by 1000, and the turntable will start to spin. Zhou Tianao remembers that the rotation time was about 3 seconds. The pointer slowly slowed down and finally stopped above the fog next to the money bag. The alleged fog quickly dissipated, revealing the hidden area. It was a pattern made up of stick figures, including wrenches, keyboards, screwdrivers, and even knives and guns. Below are 4 big characters. Open black lens bracket, random skills, close black lens bracket. Before Zhou Tianao could react, a coverless thread-bound book appeared before his eyes and opened automatically. The pages of the book flipped randomly and stopped at a certain page. He looked closely and saw the title on the page. Not understanding what was going on, he just moved his eyes downwards. Before he could see all the words on the first line, his mind suddenly shook, and he seemed to have entered another world, just like the code space he entered yesterday when he used the Eye of Disorder. However, this space is empty and there is nothing in it. Just as he was thinking this, Zhou Tianao suddenly found a figure appearing in front of him. How to describe it? 8 feet tall and very handsome. He was just sighing that his description was accurate, but before he could observe the situation carefully, the figure had already walked up to him with the book, threw it at him with a loud bang, and said in a cold and domineering tone, "Eat it for me." When Zhou Tianao came to his senses and saw the dark ceiling of the rental house due to a lot of white plaster falling off, 2 tears couldn't help but squeeze out of the corners of his eyes. God knows what he went through in that space. That figure is a devil instructor. He actually managed to eat the book. Or eat it page by page. Each page represents a fighting technique. Every time he finished eating a page, the devil instructor would drag him to train crazily, without stopping, until he had eaten the whole book. Fortunately, the paper pages he ate were not useless. Instead, they provided him with mental and physical support, preventing him from collapsing. It can even help him better understand the essence of each fighting technique. Although the effect was significant, he no longer wanted to recall how long he had stayed in there. Damn it, I don't even dare to smoke anymore. Zhou Tianao was a little panicked when he saw the sparkling lottery interface in front of him. I can only say that it is worthy of being a face-slapping lottery. You thought they would give you something simple and direct like a lucky bag of money, but they immediately slapped you in the face and gave you a slap on the face. Now he is in a dilemma whether to smoke or not. In his confusion, he stood up and tried various fighting techniques. The sound of fist wind rang out in the house. Zhou Tianao's body shape changed freely, his movements were smooth and his moves were perfect. My health is not good. It seems I have to wait until the mission is completed and the body transformation fluid arrives before I can unleash my full power. If you don't have good physical fitness, no matter how powerful your moves are, they will be useless. There are book pages supporting him in the space, but he doesn't have such a strong physique in reality. After experiencing the benefits firsthand, Zhou Tianao regained his confidence. Keep smoking. Whoever's afraid of you is AB*******************. D. Zhou Tianao plucked up his courage and returned to bed to continue the lottery. There are still 6 areas that have not been unlocked, and the probability of drawing the same area again is very low. He still has 9 chances to draw the lottery, it is impossible for him to win all of them. Moreover, he has already won it once this time, so it is impossible for him to win the same one next time. Zhou Tianao calmed down and said to himself, "Let the lottery begin." The slap point automatically decreased by 1,000, leaving 8,000, and the turntable began to spin again. 3 seconds later, Zhou Tianao suddenly gasped, his eyes widened, his back teeth clenched, and he raised his proud chin, facing the lottery interface with an unyielding nostril. He then extended his right hand and made a very friendly international gesture. The next moment, he was plunged into darkness and entered a mysterious space. In the empty space, the figure who seemed to have always been there was also stunned when he saw Zhou Tianao, but almost instantly, his eyes became straight, like a hungry wolf. At the same time, he took out a new book from behind his back, revealed a strange smile and said, "It seems you haven't eaten enough yet. 22. I'll teach you, please vote." When Zhou Tianao reappeared in the rental house, his eyes were lifeless, his mind was made of paste, and his emotions were broken. He ate another book. There was not even any saliva to drink, I had to swallow it dryly. What a shitty system this is. Zhou Tianao suddenly sat up from the bed. He didn't want to draw anymore. What the hell was the point of drawing? This lottery was simply outrageous. He has decided. He wants revenge. He needs to get the body transformation fluid before drawing the lottery. The physical quality in the space is the same as in reality. Once he has transformed his body and has enough strength, he will definitely beat up that devil instructor. After closing the lottery interface, Zhou Tianao couldn't help but complain. How long has it been? Why hasn't the bug been fixed yet? Zhou Tianao didn't understand. This bug should have spread, so why was there no news about it until now? Don't the authorities intend to take care of this matter? Good guy. Not only did he accuse him of violating regulations, but he also didn't let him complete the system task, right? Zhou Tianao is now so angry that he has no place to vent it, and the authorities actually dare to make things difficult for him. He decided to implement the plan he had thought of earlier in advance. That is to spread the bug thoroughly. But the new computer couldn't be used, so Zhou Tianao had to move out the old computer. Good brother, fight with me again. Zhou Tianao stroked the old host and plugged it into the new display with a wire. After everything was ready, Zhou Tianao started the live broadcast. Since the previous video was still quite popular, people would come into the live broadcast room from time to time to watch the show, so as soon as he started the live broadcast, barrages of comments would pop up. Huh. Streamer, you actually dare to broadcast live. Are you really not afraid of death? Anchor, how does it feel to be slapped in the face? Is it comfortable? It's still the official slap in the face. It makes me laugh. This is the first time I've seen someone so stubborn. As soon as the show started, Zhou Tianao saw a screen full of sarcasm. Seeing that he didn't speak, the commentators started to mock him again. There are still bugs when playing a game. Can I afford to play it or what? The streamer's game section is set up incorrectly. It's not the online game section, it should be the bug section. Why aren't you talking, host? Is there a bug? At this time, Zhou Tianao had already quietly opened the Goose Speed car. No, how dare you still play games? You've lost your account, so why don't you just stop ruining the Speed Racer environment? Yeah, it's because of scum like you that the gaming environment is so bad. Hurry up and get out of here. Don't log in and uninstall the game. I don't understand. Who on earth would think of exploiting bugs in a game? Are people like that really worthy of playing games? The comments started to get heated, but he remained calm. After Goose Speed successfully logged in and the game interface appeared, he spoke calmly. Do you want to learn how to exploit this bug? If you want to learn, I'll teach you. As soon as these words were spoken, the barrage of comments instantly became quiet. In an instant, Zhou Tianao's mind was filled with the sound of being slapped in the face. Bang. Slap value +1. Bang. Slap value +1. Bang. Slap value +1. Bang. Slap value +1. Ellipsis ellipsis. He gained more than 200 face slapping points in one go. In other words, as soon as he said this, more than 200 people were immediately moved. They want to know how this bug happened. This wave of slaps in the face caught the barrage off guard. But there are still many comments saying, "Online gamers all pursue fairness. Who would be like you, always thinking of using tricks and cheats to play the game?" That's right, if you can't afford to play, just say so. We online gamers don't welcome you. But as soon as they said this, those who wanted to know how the bug was fixed began to refute them. "Excuse me, I've been an online game player for 10 years. I like it. I like cheating and exploiting bugs. Sorry, I like it very much. What does fairness or unfairness have to do with me? As long as I'm happy, that's all. Sorry, do you think you can represent all online game players? Do you know why I wrote the Dao Te Ching? Because I enjoy it. Bang. Slap value +1. Bang. Slap value +1. Bang. Slap value +1. Ellipsis ellipsis. Zhou Tianao was amused by what he saw. He could actually gain points for being slapped in the face by the barrage of comments. This wave directly gave him more than 100 face slap points. He only has about 5,000 to 6,000 fans now. Based on the ratio of 10:1, this has almost slapped the faces of all the viewers in the live broadcast room. Seeing that there was no sign of increasing popularity, Zhou Tianao didn't hesitate any longer and directly started a game. The map was naturally Ghost Run. He wants to reproduce yesterday's bug. The process was still the same as yesterday, and Zhou Tianao entered the match using his initial account. Drive the starting car and stand behind the stage to applaud, and finally appear on the same starting line with other players. 3. When the time came, Zhou Tianao drove out in the initial vehicle. Not surprisingly, in front of other cars with modified luxury cars, he was still knocked to the side and was left far behind. But without the interference of other players, he can start running the map more smoothly. This is a map where he created his first record, so he is naturally very familiar with it. Running on it feels like going home. He took every curve, turn, drift and exit to the extreme, and he took care of all the details with just one original racing car. The barrage of comments couldn't help but express amazement. Even though it's unfair for him to exploit a bug to win the game, this way of running around the map is really G enjoyable. Such a smooth running method must have the ultimate operation behind it. If the bug hadn't caused the account to be banned, the streamer might have already become famous. That's right, the anchor has such skills, so why not do anything better? Why does he have to resort to crooked methods? What a waste. Instead of going to the professional arena to make a name for yourself, you're just sitting here messing around with bugs and being a small streamer. At this time, the words of the barrage suddenly angered some of the barrage. Hi, I'm dying of laughter. Think you can use your brain when you speak? Is the internet a place where you can become famous just by relying on technology? If it weren't for that video of his, we wouldn't even know where we are. For 10 years, no one cares about the car god, but once a bug is known to everyone, everyone knows it. This is the internet. Holy crap. There are actually some sober commenters out there. The truth is out. This is what the internet is like. Bang. Slap value +1. Bang. Slap value +1. Bang. Slap value +1. Zhou Tianao. Just as he was about to exploit the bug, he was stunned when he suddenly received a slap value of over 300. After reading the comments, he understood why. However, he is now preparing to teach the barrage how to fix this bug, so he did not respond to this matter. Besides, it is not easy to respond. His original intention was not for traffic, he just wanted to get back his account that was mistakenly blocked. If he responded, it would go against his original intention. While the barrage of chats was heating up, Zhou Tianao also began to approach turn 19. Watch carefully, I'll tell you how this bug was caused. Upon hearing this, everyone in the barrage fell silent and stared intently at the screen. Zhou Tianao was seen explaining and operating at the same time. Watch the time, 1 minute and 29 seconds. As long as you're not particularly bad, you'll arrive at this point. Don't worry about anything else from now on. Even if you let go of the keyboard, just go straight ahead. He had just finished speaking when, as time went on, the initial car on the screen hit the outer wall of turn 19 at the 1 minute and 30 seconds mark, and went straight through it and rushed out of the track. In an instant, the barrage was in uproar. 23. Emergency meeting. Account banned at the start. I turned around and drove the game company crazy. The moment the bug reappeared, the barrage immediately became excited. Holy crap. Awesome. It's actually possible. 666. What a magical operation. Damn, I seem to have opened the door to a new world. Can games still be played like this? Bang. Slap value +1. Bang. Slap value +1. As the live broadcast room becomes more and more popular, more and more people come. For a moment, some barrages that had originally insisted on not using bugs were instantly slapped in the face, causing Joe Tiano to earn thousands of slap points again. The reason is simple. They don't know how bugs are created in the first place, nor do they know how to use them. At this time, if they see someone using a bug, they will become extremely angry. But this kind of anger also contains jealousy, which is manifested in the fact that you cannot get it but others do. They actually don't care whether the game environment is really fair or not. What they care about is whether it is fair to themselves or not. Therefore, when Joe Tiano himself used bugs, which was unfair to them, they would become jealous and angry and criticize him to death. But once he shares the bug, this unfairness will be transferred to others, and they will become fair, so these people will immediately come back to lick him with their tails wagging. However, the jealousy of online game players has been a long-standing issue. This is not something Joe Tiano can change, nor can he do it. He did this with only one purpose, which was to take advantage of the psychology of these players and spread the bug completely. Knowing how to use the bug, this group of players will definitely experiment on their own and use it in the game. Although this is very unfair to the victim players, his live broadcast will definitely spread. When the time comes, whoever is jealous can just find a bug and transfer the unfairness to others. In this way, it will definitely attract official attention, and the bugs can be fixed, thereby completing the system's mission. After completing all this, Joe Tiano turned off the live broadcast and left the rest to time. Sure enough, less than 10 minutes later, Joe Tiano saw a video. The latest bug in Goose Racing. Ignore collisions. The content is all about the process of him getting stuck in the bug, and it even has subtitles. As soon as the video appeared, it received dozens of views. And with every refresh, the number of views will increase, starting with a dozen or 20, and then increasing to dozens or even hundreds. An hour later, Joe Tiano found that more similar videos had appeared. Some people take the original video, add a watermark, and post it again, but more people try it themselves and then record and edit it before posting it. There are even a small number of players who are proficient in programming and have created scripts. Scripts can make the cars in the game run according to a fixed program, which makes it easier to cause bugs than manual operation. However, this method is prone to being detected by the system as a plug-in program, leading to account suspension, and is relatively risky. Moreover, Joe Tiano read the comments and found that the video uploader also packaged this script and sold it for 5 yuan a copy, using it to deceive those new players who know nothing about it. I selflessly sacrificed you for profit. Joe Tiano was so angry that he laughed, and immediately reported and blocked the account. In short, netizens' ability to spread information is very impressive. In less than 2 hours, he was able to see no less than 40 or 50 similar videos. He believed that at this rate of spread, the bug would soon become widely known and eventually be noticed and fixed by the authorities. To verify this idea, Joe Tiano went to the official forum of Goose Speed Car. Generally speaking, whatever happens in the game will definitely be reflected here. Sure enough, as soon as he logged in with his secondary account, he saw a post pinned to the top with a red mark. #GooseSpeed new map surprisingly found a bug hash. It's quite efficient. When Zhou Tianao clicked on it, he saw that the original poster had used both video and text to explain the bug clearly. Below the post are the voices of a group of players. What the hell, I was running so well, and suddenly I went from first to second. Me too, when will this crappy bug be fixed? I want to know that, too. Zhou Tianao agreed in his heart and continued to brush. I'm putting this out there today. If this bug isn't fixed, I'm quitting the game. That's right. I have the skills and the money. I just spent 20,000 yuan, but I can't beat them because of the bug. If you don't give me an explanation, I'll go to your headquarters today and make a scene. Do you believe it? I heard this bug appeared yesterday, and it still hasn't been fixed. Are these officials just useless people? They let a bug persist for so long. I'm dying of laughter. They even released a new set of clothes today. They don't fix the bugs and are just trying to make money. I think this game will be dead sooner or later. That's right, the new maps all have bugs, this is a rubbish game. The official discussion was so intense that Zhou Tianao felt completely relieved. The fix for this bug was a foregone conclusion. After logging out of the computer, dismantling the old computer and packing it up, Zhou Tianao just heard shouting coming from downstairs. Recycle old computers, old mobile phones, old refrigerators, old gas cylinders. It's been transferred. 800 yuan. Okay, got it, thank you. Zhou Tianao formatted his old computer and sold it, waved goodbye to it, and then returned to his rental house. All he has to do now is wait for the bug to be fixed. As soon as he gets the body transformation fluid, he will immediately draw a lottery and fight back. Goose Speed Racing Studio. Emergency. A major bug has appeared in the new map, Ghost Trace. The bug has ruined the experience for many players, significantly reducing their online time and causing an 80% drop in revenue today. The estimated loss is 2 million. The sudden emergency news forced all employees who were about to get off work to return to their posts. The loss of 2 million prompted the leaders of various departments of Goose Racing to hold an emergency meeting. Luo Wei, general manager of Goose Speed Car, sat in the main seat with a serious expression. The meeting officially begins when leaders from all departments arrive. Luo Wei spoke first, his face gloomy. I heard that this bug was discovered yesterday. Is that true? The leaders in the entire meeting looked at each other in confusion. They had just learned about the existence of this bug. Since you don't know, then there must be a technical problem with the game itself. After Luo Wei finished speaking, he turned to look at a tall man sitting upright on his left, his blue suit meticulously dressed with very few wrinkles. What is even more impressive is that he has thick hair, which matches his face shape and facial features. It is said that half of the women who have seen him are moved. Shen Lei, your technical department needs to be responsible for this matter. The man who was named didn't show much expression, and it was obvious that he was unaware of the matter. However, the fact was that his technical department was not immune from the responsibility, so he could only nod and say. Luo Wei had always been confused about Shen Lei, so he stopped talking when he saw this. 24. Pack up and leave. Upon hearing the meeting was adjourned, leaders of various departments felt relieved. But they are far from leaving get off work, because there is still a lot of work to do about this bug. The Public Relations Department will issue an announcement. The Technical Department urgently fixed the bug. The Ghost Trail map will also be suspended. Other departments must also make corresponding cooperation. In the Technical Department, Shen Lei swiped the access card and walked in. At this moment, all the programmers who were about to punch out looked over. How's the bug handling going? Before going to the meeting, Shen Lei instructed them to find out the specific details of the bug. It's just a small bug in a new map, discovered by accident, but I didn't expect that they would find a specific solution. These players really have nothing better to do. Hearing this, Shen Lei's eyes turned cold, and he looked at the complaining employee and said, would players still play games if they had nothing better to do? If they didn't play, how would we survive? The programmer who was reporting looked embarrassed when he heard this, lowered his head and did not dare to respond. Our mission is to protect the players' gaming experience and create a fair and just environment for them. Shen Lei turned his head, his thick hair trembling slightly, as if these hairs symbolized the supreme majesty of the programmer world, making every programmer present dare not look him in the eye. He looked around at the nearly 30 programmers present and said, "If nothing unexpected happens, the losses will be borne by our technical department, and this year's year-end bonus will most likely be cancelled." As soon as these words were spoken, all the programmers present looked dissatisfied. Why? This isn't the first time a bug has appeared. Why are you deducting our year-end bonuses? Yeah, if my wife knew I lost my year-end bonus, she would scold me to death. I have elderly parents and young children to support, and I was counting on my year-end bonus to have a nice meal. How could this happen? The noises grew louder, and Shen Lei shouted softly, "All right, if this is a bug that just appeared today, then no one can accuse us of anything. But the problem is that this bug appeared yesterday, but we not only failed to fix it, we didn't even notice it. This led to the escalation of the situation and increased losses. This is our fault, and everyone, including me, must bear this responsibility. We are all adults now, and we must shoulder the responsibilities we should shoulder. Since we make a living from this, if something goes wrong, we must pay the price for it." After these words, everyone realized that they would definitely not get their year-end bonus. Adults should be responsible for their own actions. Wait a moment. Suddenly, a man who was less than 30 years old and had very little hair walked out of the crowd. He pushed up his heavy glasses and said, "I don't think we should be held responsible for this." Everyone looked at him immediately, and many of them had a little light in their eyes, because this was related to their year-end bonus. Shen Lei also turned his head and stared at him with sharp eyes. "Yu Hong, explain yourself clearly. I heard something happened in the PR department yesterday, and it seems to be related to this bug. I think that since they discovered this bug but didn't report it to us in time, I think they should bear the blame." Yu Hong's words gave others a way to avoid punishment, and they immediately clamored to go to the public relations department to find out. Shen Lei shouted softly, looking at Yu Hong and said, "Are you sure you're telling the truth?" Yu Hong said firmly, "Okay, you have to take responsibility for what you said. I'll report the situation now. If it's true, we just need to increase the workload, and we won't have to deduct your year-end bonus." After Shen Lei finished speaking, he returned to his office and prepared to inform General Manager Luo Wei about the matter. As soon as Shen Lei left, all the programmers cheered. "Yeah, I was so scared. I almost thought I lost my year-end bonus. That's right, I've set my eyes on a new energy vehicle this year and plan to buy one after I get my year-end bonus. I was almost scared to death." Someone ran up to Yu Hong, put his arm around his shoulders, and said with a smile, "You are so amazing. If it weren't for you, we would have suffered a great loss." "That's right, Yu Hong is so lucky thanks to you. Ha ha ha, Lao Yu, even though you look dull at ordinary times, you can still be very useful at critical moments." In response, Yu Hong simply pushed his glasses that had fallen off and said with a harmless smile, "I just remembered this. Besides, this matter has nothing to do with us. It's already bad enough that we have to increase our workload because of this. That's right, I don't know which idiot has the time to figure out this kind of bug. I'm just bored because I'm full. I told you that long ago. What did you say? Don't be ridiculous. What does a technical matter have to do with my PR department? Okay, I'll go ask now. If there's no problem, just wait for me." Yuan Haichuan, head of the public relations department, hung up the company's internal phone and walked out of the office. At this time, the PR department is preparing to make a statement regarding today's bug. He walked to a table nearby and knocked on the tabletop. Seeing that everyone was looking over, he spoke. "I received a message about today's bug. Someone said someone here had already discovered it yesterday. Is that true? You'd better think carefully before answering. The losses in this matter are huge. If you don't handle it well, you will have to pack up and leave." After Yuan Haichuan finished speaking, he saw that everyone looked confused, and he felt quite satisfied. His hint was already very obvious. As long as no one says anything, he can handle this matter. The Public Relations Department is made to take the blame for technical issues. Does he really think that this supervisor is stupid? He looked around again and found that Chi Jun was putting his hands on Xiao Ruian's shoulders, and the two seemed to be flirting. Seeing the champion, Haichuan said angrily, "When did you two start hooking up? Whatever you want to do it after get off work. Don't do this in the office." After saying that, he prepared to leave and get rid of the blame. At this moment, he suddenly heard the sound of a chair falling from behind, which made him look back. Xiao Ruian pushed Chi Jun away and said loudly, "Supervisor, I submitted the bug yesterday, but they ignored it and refused to accept it. Now that there's a problem, you're questioning us again. What do you mean?" When Yuan Haichuan heard this, his expression became visibly ugly, and his voice became low. "So, you knew about this bug?" Xiao Ruian, who had not yet realized the seriousness of the situation, did not notice that Chi Jun behind her had begun to gradually move away from her, and continued to speak confidently. "Yes, I discovered it, but I also submitted it to them. However, they didn't care. It was their own negligence." Quote ellipsis ellipsis quote. Yuan Haichuan stared at her meaningfully, then sighed after a few seconds and said to the others like a deflated balloon, "You should be prepared to lose your year-end bonus. As for you," he glanced at Xiao Ruian and said disappointedly, "Get ready to pack up and leave." 25. The first lesson in entering society. Xiao Ruian stood there in a daze, and spoke after a while. Yuan Haichuan glanced at her, shook his head and said nothing more. He went straight back to his office to report the matter. If all the employees deny it, he will definitely be able to handle it. But since someone has admitted it, if he tries to defend himself, the risk will only be transferred to himself. For such a large company, he couldn't guarantee that the news of him protecting his employees wouldn't get out. When something goes wrong, the only thing to do is to solve it. If he covers up the facts and protects his subordinates, he will lose his job. After Yuan Haichuan left, the other colleagues all looked indifferent, and some even looked at Xiao Ruian with gritted teeth. If it weren't for Xiao Ruian, how could there be problems with their year-end bonus? "Brother Jun." Xiao Ruian looked at Chi Jun, but found that this man who had always taken care of her and taught her a lot of things also had a cold expression on his face. "May the best of luck to you. I almost came to blows with you just now, but I couldn't stop you." Chi Jun sighed, shook his head, and returned to his job. The whole office was suddenly filled with a weird atmosphere, and Xiao Ruian felt so uncomfortable in it. Why? It's obviously not my fault." Xiao Ruian couldn't understand. All of this was obviously caused by the technical department's lack of attention, so why was she the one who suffered in the end? Not long after, Yuan Haichuan came out of the office with a gloomy face and said, "The results are out. Everyone's year-end bonus will be cancelled this year, and everyone will be given a demerit. If they make similar mistakes again, they will be fired directly." After saying this, he looked at Xiao Ruian and said in a cold voice, "You can pack up and leave now." When the truth came out, Xiao Ruian couldn't help it. She asked Yuan Haichuan loudly, "Why? This incident wasn't my fault at all. It was the technical department's failure to handle it in a timely manner that led to this huge mistake. Why did the company fire me? I refuse to accept the consequences." "You don't accept it." Yuan Haichuan was so angry that he laughed. "Since you're about to leave, I'll teach you a lesson myself. As the key point of this matter, who is right and who is wrong? The key is who will bear the responsibility. It's already happened. Who's right or wrong? What matters is how to resolve it. That's what the higher-ups are concerned about. As long as you keep quiet, I can easily get away with it. Well now, you've caused everyone to be punished. You're right. Are you satisfied now?" Xiao Ruian got angry and argued. "Why do you say it's my fault? I have obviously done my duty and done everything I should do. It was clearly his fault, and he was the real culprit. He didn't take the bug I reported seriously, which led to the huge losses. And you still blame me. Who asked you to submit the bug? Yuan Haichuan suddenly said something that made Xiao Ruian pause. I submitted it myself. How chicken-feathered are you? Upon hearing this, Yuan Haichuan couldn't help but beat his chest and stamp his feet, saying with great regret. Don't get involved in things that aren't your business. Didn't anyone teach you that? Speaking of this, Yuan Haichuan himself laughed. If someone had taught him, Xiao Ruian would not have caused him such a big trouble. Faced with such a fool, he calmed down and said helplessly, it's good this way. Remember this after you leave here and don't make the same mistake again. Xiao Ruian saw that Yuan Haichuan was wrong on both sides, and it seemed as if she was really wrong. Thinking of this, she couldn't help feeling aggrieved, tears welled up in her eyes, and her voice began to choke. No, why? Why am I the one who is wrong? Seeing Xiao Ruian crying, Yuan Haichuan was suddenly at a loss, and other colleagues also looked over. Xiao Ruian's pretty face was covered with tears as she said, I originally thought that since we are all colleagues, we can work together to get this done. If there are any mistakes, just correct them. If there's anything you don't understand, just ask. Isn't it true that things will get better if we all work together? But why, when faced with a problem, do you always think of escaping, shirking responsibility, and trying to relax? I don't understand, I really don't understand. Xiao Ruian's words were like needles and thorns, piercing the hearts of everyone present. Yes, their original intentions of joining the company were as naive as Xiao Ruian's. I thought that as long as I tried my best, others would do the same, and if everyone tried their best, the game would get better and better. But reality soon taught them how to be human beings. Xiao Ruian suddenly interrupted the thoughts of everyone present. Yuan Haichuan's face was also ugly at the moment. He was also a newcomer, and he had the same emotions as others just now, and even stronger emotions. Can you tell me why you were fired? Xiao Ruian's eyes were confused, like a homeless child. Quote ellipsis quote. Yuan Haichuan was silent for a while, then he said. It's a simple truth. It's not about who is right or wrong in this matter, but who bears the consequences. You're just a new employee in the PR department, and he's a key member of the technical department. The company wouldn't fire him just for you. Not only you, but even the entire PR department is dependent on the technical department. You have to know that the game was developed by these programmers. You should know how high their status is without me having to explain it to you. In this situation, no matter what happens, all we can do is avoid them and not confront them head-on. If you hadn't spoken up just now, the company would have had no choice but to blame the problem on the technical department. And because of their importance, the losses would have been borne solely by the company. Now that you've spoken, the PR department is just a microphone. If it doesn't work, just replace it. How could the company be polite to you? Do you understand now? Yuan Haichuan told me that Xiao Ruian had completely given up and knew that the situation was irreversible. Suddenly, she remembered something and said, Can I access yesterday's surveillance footage? I did contact him and reported the bug to him, but he refused to accept it. If I use this as evidence, the responsibility will still be theirs. This way, at least you can avoid punishment and your year-end bonus won't be deducted. Seeing this, the other employees' eyes lit up, as if this method was feasible. But Yuan Haichuan immediately poured cold water on them. It's useless. Trying to play logic with a science and engineering guy will kill you. The footage has most likely been deleted, and the company's surveillance doesn't have audio. If the content of your conversation isn't clear, and he refuses to admit it, then based on the premise just now, anything you say will be meaningless. Seeing Xiao Ruian's face turning red and white, Yuan Haichuan sighed and his tone became gentle. Go quickly, and be careful next time. This is your first lesson when you enter society.